Let's get to music. And then let me turn off autoplay. Okay.
Put the subs.
So, yeah. You're joking.
How you say?
What is that? I can't believe it. That's unacceptable.
And it hasn't happened since last time, right? So it's
I haven't
something with this computer.
It's something with this computer there.
Something is logged in somewhere. I don't know.
Bro, I don't even remember some of the testing we were doing. It was OBS, right?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't happen unless OBS was open.
Right. That's funny. You know?
Is the noise happening again? Yes, some random hobo. Like, I just heard it. Did you hear? Oh, shit. Here we go again. Mr. Wolf. So, in about 2 minutes, if that shit jingles again, I'm going to freak out. Damn, I just want to play.
You want to hear something?
All right, fuck it. We're going to play. Yeah. I want to hear something?
Yeah. So, this morning when I was, just getting up and just laying in bed, Serena was looking at a video for something. I kept on hearing a chirp.
Oh, my.
You're joking. That chirp?
No.
Okay,
The other chirp.
Just a chirp.
The other chirp.
Mm-hmm.
The fire alarm chirp.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I asked her, is that in the video? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, is that chirp in the video? I was like, I don't know. I mean it was a person, just talking. And the chirp went off again. And it was in the video. So he was talking about whatever.
Hell?
I don't even know what the video is about. It was like maybe some kind of crime.
It's in the video.
Crime mystery thing. And it was in the video.
Mm.
And he had it in the background of his house, just the fire alarm chirp going off.
Driving you nuts. I wonder if it's the music. It's not the music.
No, it can't be.
We're going to do the music. Hello. Let me say thank you to Aries Fire 1 minute ago for 8 months.
Nice.
Did you fire off that chirp?
There it goes. Hype.
Look, it's interesting because it happened almost exactly when he did hype.
Yeah.
But yet it doesn't happen when he presses hype over and over. That's so weird. But you see how it happened almost instantly after that.
Yeah.
Let's see. And it's only taking chat from where I pressed the button. That's such a weird thing. It's never happened before. Aries putting the Rambo, some random hobo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Summer Crane, how you doing?
Mr. Wolf, me and my family found a local coffee shop that lets you sit and play games while you have drinks and snacks.
Oh, that's
pretty good.
That's awesome.
We have a few of those over here in Austin. I enjoy them very much. As you can meet new people and you can have fun with your friends in a different environment. Just getting out of the house. Okay. Let's start these games, and we can get on through all of them. Basically, the first one,
I know
go back over here.
I know what you're trying to do.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Make me sick of Western games.
Oh, I know. I know. It's don't get sick of Western games, but here we go. Here's the last three. I've got the rules with no name. This one I'm excited about. because The Man with No Name is a good movie. And then you have What a Cowboy from Two Fat Lardies. This uses kind of a dice activation system. Kind of excited about that one as well. And then Gut Shot is probably an older one. And so I was looking forward to that. So these are the last three that we have. There was previously we had Wild West Exodus and Dracula's America, but these are more different games. Wild West Exodus is like a skirmish game akin to like Warhammer and War Machine, so we're going to push that off to a different stream. And Dracula's America is very, very thematic and squad-based, so we're going to, when we play other kind of monster type of games, we'll throw that one in. But those are the three that we were hoping to play today. So we're starting with The Rules with No Name, which uses a card activation system where you have the different cards for the characters. And
Central Oregon, hard KV, what's going on?
yeah, so that one didn't pop up with anything.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what it is.
What is music? Okay, here.
Turn music on.
What if, Chad, I've got an idea. I'm going to disable anything that has to do with alerts on this system here. So the chime is back. Yeah, promo reels. Oh, did we test to see if it ever happens when everything is off?
No.
Here, I'm going to delete music. Or, I'm sorry, not everything is off. When I don't even have the chat up. Because I was wondering if it's maybe coming from chat.
It has to be coming from the chat.
It's either coming, you see that Twitch alerts right there? I have a global thing with Twitch alerts.
Yeah.
So it could be that, or it could be the chat thing. But I'm gonna. What? It's almost as if. Do you see the timing, chat?
Yeah.
Isn't the timing almost exactly when one of y'all type?
Yeah, but it
it doesn't. But not all the time.
Yeah, it's not consistent.
Capture. It's a chat thing. I turned this off. What? You had this issue? Okay.
Yeah, go to chat
So it's a
settings.
chat thing. And what did you do?
Oh, you can move the chat settings over.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Screen reader auto announce. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, screen reader auto announce. That might be it.
I don't think that's it. It's my OnlyFans chime. It's okay, Joe. It's a Streamlabs setting.
In chat.
It's a
chat
Streamlabs setting in the chat. In the chat box section. Streamlabs. So I went to the Streamlabs website, then the dashboard, then the chat box. Okay. Look at this, man. Zug, if you fix this for us, that's an
You'll be a hero.
MVP. Streamlabs. Okay. So we go to the Streamlabs website. We log in. Okay. Sponsorships now live. Okay. And then you go to the dashboard. Okay, I'm in the dashboard now.
Right there. See the notifications?
No,
That's
well,
not
those, that's not. That's just saying I've got 9 messages. I don't think that's the messages thing. Went to the Streamlabs website, then the dashboard, then the chat box. What is the chat box?
Chat box.
Oh, chat box right here. Okay. Here, I need to make this less big. How do I... Is it... Control? Yeah, control. Okay, chat box. Display your chat on stream and set up sound notifications for new chats. Platforms, Twitch, badges, style. So enable, none of that is enabled. Chat notifications will not play.
Chat notification right there.
Chat notifications enabled. Positive game sound. What is this?
That's it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So if I turn this off,
Yeah. Well, you're gonna hear it.
well, I'm gonna hear it when
the
I
sample.
save it, but I
Yeah,
need
the
to
sample.
save settings. No fucking way. Oh, I should have left that open just in case. Okay. We think we've solved it. I'm gonna switch the music. This is a triumphant track now because we have we fixed it. This drove me crazy for weeks.
Disable chat notifications. Yeah.
I think we did it.
Agent Zug, hero.
Agent Zug, man. All right. Okay, starting the game. Starting positions, shuffle the fate deck, place it face down. To begin the game, one player turns over the top card of the fate deck. So, let's do that. It's Frank. Frank goes first.
All right, he shoots.
Okay. Let's see. If an action card is drawn, then place it face up next to the player. Draw a character card. The next player. Okay, hold on. This has a unique system because you can have more than 4 people on your side, right? And you have some generic cowboys, and they're like shootist, duelist, warriors, or whatever. When you draw that card, you can activate any of that type of, character.
Okay, yeah.
But if you have like legends, they're named, so we have all legends. So
Right.
obviously, when we draw a card, it's just that legend activating.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But that kind of removes one of the mechanics where you could kind of hold on to a card and activate a dude at any time. Yeah. Shuffle the fate deck and play. The character immediately takes the card, and the card is placed on the discard pile. The character immediately takes a turn, and gotcha. Okay, so actions. During the character's turn, he can make one of the following actions. One of the following actions. Reposition.
Okay.
Do nothing except for move 2 inches in any direction. Move. Throw 3 dice. Add together the scores. Maximum distances of inches your character moves.
Okay.
But I think it's only in straight line. Move and fire. Move and fire is the same, except for only 2 movement dice are thrown, and the character must fire at the end of his movement. Fire. Aim, which then you aim and go later. Reload, recover, get up. You're going to fire.
I'm on fire.
Okay, fire. Shooting. Character chooses his target. Who you? Frank is
Frank.
where? Which one's Frank?
I believe this is Frank.
Look at him. Yes, that's Tom.
Tom. And then if that's Tom, this is Frank. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Frank is shooting who?
He gonna shoot at Doc.
Doc Holliday. How dare you? That's my best guy.
That's why I'm shooting at him.
Thank you to.
Who is that?
Roll.
Roll for Crumpet.
Roll for Crumpet. Thank you so much, Roll for Crumpet, for subscribing just now and contributing to our unique content. Okay, so you're shooting Doc Holliday. Okay.
Are we using D6s or what?
What does this game use? Good question. Dice. 6-sided dice.
Okay.
Okay, so I have here a few things. Do you have a pencil?
I sure do.
Okay, write this down for Frank. I couldn't find an actual Frank, so we're going to make Frank exactly like his brother Tom, except for he won't be a lousy shot.
Okay.
So callous, under your abilities, callous, cheating, and clumsy. Weapons, pistol. Okay, so he's got a pistol. So let's go and look to see how do you fire the pistol.
Callous, cheating, and clumsy?
Yeah, callous, cheating, clumsy, and pistol. All right, the character chooses his target, rolls a number of dice shown on the firing chart, subject to modifiers listed. Note that the number of dice rolled is intended to relate to the chance of the character hitting at all, not directly to the number of shots fired. Okay, so we got to go a chart. If any dice comes up with a 6, the character has hit his target, but he only scores 1 hit. Characters using deliberate fire may choose to aim. Okay, so the way the firing works in this is you're going to use multiple dice to fire, and then you need to basically be fishing for 6s. You're going to roll a 6.
Okay.
Let's see how many dice you roll. Okay, pistol, range. Point blank is 2 inches. Close range is 6 inches.
Okay.
We'll say this is close range.
Yep.
Number of dice at close range in a pistol, 3 dice.
Okay.
So go ahead and fire the bit. Wait, didn't I had some sound effects, didn't
Yeah.
I? Oh, I must have put them on the... I think they're on the other one. What?
It's over here. It's not plugged in.
You have something not plugged in over there? Would you say it's over here if it's not plugged in?
Because you were pulling that wire right there. Is that it? You got it? All right, I think we got it. We got it. EOS. What's up, guys? What's up?
Okay, I got right here.
You got it? Oh, there we go.
All right,
There we go.
hit me.
Ah, shit. I ran over. All right, here we go. I got 1-6.
Shit, you hit me. Okay, so if you get 1-6, then you score a hit.
Okay.
Oh, there were modifiers: targeting cover, firing a pistol after moving. None of that. Firing 2 pistols, serious wounds, back shooting.
What are the modifiers?
The modifiers is adding dice. So if you're a citizen, you get 1 fewer dice.
Okay.
If you're a shootist, you get +1 dice. We're all legends, so we get +2 dice.
Okay.
So it sounds like we're gonna hit. You know,
So I would
almost
add
always.
2 more dice.
So add
to
2
that.
more dice to that, but you've already rolled a 6, so you're fine.
Yeah.
And it's not like you get multiple
You don't.
hits.
You
You're
just have to
looking
get
for
1.
a 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now that that you hit, I think we do.
A real gunfight going on.
All right, now you roll to see what effect it has. You throw 2 dice.
Okay.
The first is for the location, and then the second is for the effect. So let's go 1 die roll at a time, or 2 different colors.
5.
5, that is to my belly. Uh-oh.
Gut shot.
Might be a gut shot.
Oh.
Please don't roll high.
A 2.
Oh, thank God. Belly, a 2 is a flesh wound. So my guy got flesh wound. I'll put a heart next to him, but I have some tokens here I'll grab. Okay, that is your turn. As you only get 1 action and you chose to fire.
Okay.
Okay, so next character is Morgan.
So this goes in discard. Right?
Yeah, that goes in discard, but actually, get your pencil and write this down. Oh, you already wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it there.
So Morgan. Which one was Morgan? So Virgil was the older guy.
Morgan's right
was
there.
that
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Okay. He's cool-headed and quick shot, and he's got a pistol. Cool-headed and quick shot. Can you write cool-headed and quick shot on my card?
All right, so
I'm going to... Morgan, I'm just going to fire. Just like you did. So it is 3 dice at close range, plus I'm a Legend of the West. So I get 2 more dice. And
what's quick shot, though?
Oh, good question. Quick shot. Index and reference. Quick shot. Add 1 firing die, or no, that's crack shot. Quick shot is...
Yeah, you smoke crack and then you get extra dice.
Add 3 dice in a fast draw situation. When blazing away, he throws extra dice and can hit with 1 extra shot. Add 3 dice in a fast draw situation. I want to fast draw. Go for his gun, often in a duel or back shooting situation. See page 38. So we should do that. Challenges, duels, and fast draws. The Gods of the Waste. Making a fast draw. There are 3 situations where you use the fast draw rules. When a character has an opponent within his arc of fire and sees him attempt to draw his weapon, the character may immediately announce a fast draw, even though it's not his turn. When a character challenges 1 or more of his enemies to a duel, normally this is only possible before shots have fired, but at the discretion of the game master or with agreement of both players, challenges may be made at any time in the gunfight. Perhaps during a dramatic pause as the last few survivors circle around in another. That's cool. A character coming up behind an enemy challenges him in a gentlemanly manner rather than shooting him in the back, etc., etc. Challenges. Making a challenge is an action. The character challenges 1 or more opponents within 18 inches to duel. The challenge parties must respond immediately. If they accept, they may be passed a pistol by friends. The duelists discard any rifles, rise to their feet, step out in the open if necessary. The duelists take a turn as normal when their character card is dealt, or the duelists take a turn as normal when their character card is dealt or their player uses an action card. However, they may only pass, move, or fast draw. Once one of the duelists declares a fast draw against one of his opponents, he must draw against, if facing more than 1 enemy, he must draw against the fastest. They both throw fast draw dice to determine who fires first. Alternatively, duelists may agree to fire on a signal, in which case they move until they are agreed distance apart and then fast draw. Okay. In order to do this, the player issuing the challenge must offer the option to fire on a signal, blah, 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 blah. The character immediately rolls a number of fast draw dice. Conveniently, this is the same number when you test a nerve. So a legend rolls 6 dice, and you're a legend and I'm a legend. The code of the West, well, maybe one of your guys is a 5, is Judas. The Code of the West rules for fast draw has deliberately been set up so that one lone hero can take on a number of multiple opponents simultaneously with some hope of success, just like in the movies. If our lone hero can outdraw his fastest opponent and proceed to shoot him down like the dog he is, then he gets 2 extra actions to deal with the rest of the bad guys.
Oh, wow.
So this system actually has a direct way for dealing with this situation. So let's go backwards in time, and let's say that your first guy that got drawn, Frank, is going to do a quick draw. Okay, and so you're a fast draw. And so you have to go up against my quickest guy, which let's see if it's Doc Holliday. It probably is. Crack shot, knifeman, Legend of the West, lightning fast. Nearsighted and weak. He's weak. He's nearsighted. That's 3 dice in a fast draw situation. So you roll 6 dice, and then I roll 6 dice plus 3.
Look up clumsy. That might be something for fast draw too. That might be minus dice for me.
A gun will jam if equal or less number of 1s is rolled. Fails if over 2 rolls are 2 1s are thrown on movement dice.
Oh, okay. What about the cheater?
Oh, see, cheater.
Isn't that what you told me? Right?
Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna worry about cheater.
Okay.
But anyways, let's just do this fast draw thing.
Okay.
Frank is gonna try to fast draw against Doc Holliday,
Right.
which is suicide. But you might get lucky. Roll your dice.
I got 1 6.
And I got 2 6s.
Okay.
So that was close. So the character who rolls the most 6s fires first. If both duelists roll the same number of 6s, they fire simultaneously. That's cool.
Wow.
If neither rolls a 6, then see who rolled the most 5s, and so on and so on. The winner shoots normally. Firing can either be deliberate or blazing away. Once the winner of a fast draw is fired, then even if his opponent is still standing, he may fire back. So Doc Holliday wins the fast draw,
Yeah.
and he gets to take his turn. So let's just do his normal turn, which is going to be the 3 dice, and
Plus 2 dice.
plus 2 because he's a Legend of the West.
All right.
Oh,
Nothing.
he friggin' misses.
All right,
Okay,
now
hold on. Because I think, wasn't it something like I get multiple turns? The rules for fast draw. Okay, I get 2 extra actions to deal with the rest of the bad guys, according to this. So I'm going to take a shot at the guy next to him, which is who?
So I don't get to go at all?
Whoever wins the fast draw gets 3 actions.
Oh.
Yeah.
It says that?
Yeah.
Cool.
It says the Code of the West. The rules for fast draw have been deliberately set up so that one lone hero can take on a number of opponents simultaneously with some hope of success, just like in the movies. If the lone hero can outdraw his fastest opponent, which is why you went up against our fastest, then he gets 2 extra actions to deal with the rest of the bad guys. Legends of the West are good at this. If there are no other duelists, 2 actions will give him a chance to get off the street before his enemies in the crowd open up. When complex situations evolve, like when Bloody Bard draws on Dirtface Sam, who in turn is drawing on Smiley White, you're just going to have to let common sense and the game master determine the events.
So another one that references
a game
master. Yeah.
Yeah, some of these other ones have game masters.
That's
so
funny.
I'm going to get another shot because it seems like the Wild West is more thematic and RPG-like anyway. I missed on the second guy, and I hit the third guy. Let's say it's this guy in there. So 1 shot on him, and let's see where it hits him. It hits him in the chest. Oh, chest 5, serious wound and knocked out.
Cool.
Serious wound. Give him one of these tokens. Okay, now play proceeds as normal. So Frank gets to go, and I gotta pull out the Doc Holiday card.
Yeah. I hit Doc there.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and see what location you've hit him at.
6.
Okay.
And whatever 6 is. And a
4. First 6 and 4. 6 is in the legs, and 4 is a flesh wound and knocked down.
6 is in the legs. That's
Okay.
so I guess it's 1 is in the head then, right?
1 is the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to roll low, and then you want to roll high on the second.
Low
one.
then high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So next character to draw is Morgan.
Cool.
Which one is Morgan? There's
Yeah, that should be Morgan.
Yeah, there's Morgan. Shoot that guy over there because he's looking at me all wrong.
Okay.
So 3 dice plus this. Nope, miss. Okay. Billy.
Billy gonna shoot.
Okay. Who's Billy shooting?
Let's shoot at
Is this Billy?
Wyatt. No, Billy's right there.
Billy. Okay.
There we go. 2 6s.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, you hit me.
Doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter, yeah. And
And then the first one, 3
3 to my right arm.
and 4.
4 is flesh wound. Right arm flesh wound. And you were shooting at who?
Wyatt.
What? Okay. And then we drew the Joker card. So what does the Joker card do? It says right on the card. All the cards in the discard pile are shuffled back into the Fate deck. Any action cards held by players must be played immediately or discarded. Either way, they're shuffled back into the Fate deck too. This card is also shuffled into the Fate deck. See, so when you have other, people here, you could be holding these cards and then play it, and that gives you the full flavor. I think I like that system. That system seems kind of cool because you can react to that rather than it just be standard. So shuffle these back in. you kind of need like legit real cards because I can't really shuffle these too well.
Who's it?
Ike.
Ike.
Ike is next.
Ike is down.
Ike is down. Okay, well,
He's knocked out.
when he's knocked out, let's see what happens when you are knocked out. Effective and injury. Knocked out. Characters who are knocked out must attempt to throw a 6 each time they have a turn. Until they succeed, they may make no actions. So let's see how many dice you use when you're attempting to get up. It should have said right there, but it just says
right.
you're throwing, you attempt to throw 6. Yeah, but how many die?
1 die. And what happens if you don't?
Maybe.
I mean,
Then you lose your turn, I guess.
so technically he's not dead.
Recover. Characters who are wounded or duck back must use a turn recovering. Get up. Characters who are knocked down must get up, but knocked out seems different. So I'm going to go to the back of the book here to find... Characters who are knocked out must attempt to throw a 6 each time they have a turn. Until they succeed, they may make no actions. I guess that just means on 1 dice.
Okay, so what if I do get a 6? Am I like full health again?
Until they succeed, they may make no actions. No, I think it just may... Exactly. And they need to write the rest of the rules.
Yeah.
If you throw a 6, you may play your action as normal. Since it's so hard to throw a 6 on a D6, I'm going to say you could play your turn as normal. So try to throw a 6 and he'll wake up.
With 1 die, right?
Yeah. With one. It doesn't tell me the number of dice. That's unfortunate.
Okay.
But I think that's intentional because that result is almost as rare as a dead result. If you look at the rules, there's knocked out, knocked out,
knocked down,
knocked out.
Terrible. What's a terrible wound mean?
Terrible wound. Or flesh wound. Okay, well, anyways, keep going. So Ike was knocked out, and then we have Virgil. Virgil will. I'll tell you what. Let's actually. Virgil. No, Virgil's gonna just still stand and fire. He'll fire at this guy directly in front of me.
I think that's Tom.
Got 1 hit. There it is. Okay, and we'll see where it lands. Uh-oh.
Head.
Head. And then
Give me a shoot.
1. It's a graze. What is a graze? Characters who are behind cover must duck back, even if the shot is stopped by cover. That's what a graze action is, but something, if you're out in the open, it doesn't tell me.
Again, this seems very narrative, needing a game master type rules. You know,
I think you're right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, where
doesn't necessarily seem bad.
Right.
But you kind of need a game master to facilitate it along.
Right. This is more the storytelling side of these Western games where, you know, your outcome. This is more like an encounter type thing where, you know, your outcome being
Yeah.
knocked down, you can go back to your base and heal up or whatever they do.
Right, because there's
RPs.
lots of like hanging chads. Like, what
Yeah.
happens when you're grazed and you're out in the open? Because it just says characters who are behind cover must duck back, even if the shot is stopped by cover.
Yeah.
The effects of an injury. That's all it says for graze. Characters who are behind cover must duck back, even if the shot is stopped by cover. Well, what happens when you're out in the open, buddy? Cover. Who's in cover? Effects of cover. Let me see if there's making a duck back. When a character in cover has a shot against him stopped by his cover, he is not injured but is forced to immediately duck back, getting his entire body behind cover. Move the model so that it's necessary to do this. Okay. And then they're shooting at ducked back characters, where you'll have to spend a turn recovering. But you're not telling me what happens if they're out in the open. Do all grazes turn into... I guess it's just... So in this instance, it's actually better to be out in the open.
Yeah, because you don't
Because
have to
if there's nothing...
come back or duck around. What you got to duck?
You're not forced to duck back.
Yeah.
Which is make sure that you get behind cover from the direction of the shot. A character who is behind cover may voluntarily duck back so that he can no longer be seen. He must recover before he can make another action. Maybe that's the restriction.
So he has to
that you'll
recover.
have to recover before you make another action.
Mm.
So we'll give you, one of these. I'll give you a pin token.
Okay.
All right, Frank.
Frank. So that was Tom. Frank's over there. Yeah. So Frank will shoot at Virgil.
Frank is shooting at Virgil. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. 5 dice. Looking for a 6. Got 1 6.
Okay. Let's see where you hit me.
All right. First one is a 4.
That is in the left arm,
Next one is a 4.
and that's a flesh wound.
Okay. All right. What good does that do?
A flesh wound. Let's see what happens on a flesh wound.
It means you have to get behind boxes. I don't know.
I can tell you're very annoyed with this game. We can move on if you want.
I don't know. This leaves.
Yeah, let's move on.
This
But
leaves a little
first,
bit. There's too many open.
to be desired. Yeah.
There's too many open. Like you said, hanging chads. Too many open questions. Where, that's where the GM
All right, flesh
comes in
wound.
and
Movement
tells
is
you
reduced by 1 dice for each flesh wound on a leg. Bro, what about flesh wound on an arm? We just got hit on a flesh wound on an arm. Flesh wounds. Throw for the location of flesh wounds and for the effect of head wounds on the hit location chart. Okay. Throw for the location of flesh wounds on a hit location chart. Throw for the location of flesh wounds and for the effect of head wounds. What? Throw for effect.
Who wrote this book? What year was it produced?
Well, the rules are free, but this rule, I bought this as a hardback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's what it is. Add or subtract the following number of dice rolled by a character. So a flesh wound subtracts 1 dice that you roll. So that makes sense. Okay. So let's keep going. You did a flesh wound. Okay, and then the next character is Morgan.
That's Virgil.
This is apparently that's Wyatt. But this looks more like Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is Virgil. So
Yeah.
that's Virgil. And he's I guess just gonna fire at you. You know what? Fuck it. Let's move and fire.
Okay.
Because move and fire is move 2 dice
You move 8.
6, 7, 8. So these guys move way too fast. I was thinking that, but you can only move in a single line.
Right.
You know, when I read that movement is 3 dice, I'm like, fuck, these guys are gonna haul ass.
Yeah.
But
now is it 6 inches to yeah, you're
so now I'm a little at medium range,
yeah,
right?
medium range.
Okay, and then there was also a negative for me to
Move.
Right. So we'll do that. But now I've limited myself because I'm gonna duck back if I'm ever shot at.
Yeah.
I think. All right. So move and fire. 2 movement are thrown, and the character must fire at the end of his movement. All right. Okay, so at medium range, it's only 2 dice.
Okay.
Plus the legend is 2 dice.
Right.
But you have a, what was that?
A flesh wound.
Was that a flesh wound?
Yeah, because he hit my ear or something.
Okay. Well, I don't have a flesh wound. So I don't need to subtract anything. Basically, it's 4 dice. And
You don't
I'm
subtract anything from a movie?
Oh, I should. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. That was
Tell me it's not in there.
firing a pistol or throwing a weapon after moving. Negative
Okay.
1 dice.
Okay.
So basically, I'm down to 3 dice.
Okay.
Okay.
That's still doable.
Hey,
Very doable.
there you go.
Yeah,
Got him.
very good.
Got him, and I hit him in the left arm. Fuck. And I flesh wound him. Okay. So he's got 2 flesh wounds. God damn. Okay, now it is Billy. Go Billy.
So what is it? Flesh wound, wound.
Graze, flesh wound, serious wound, knocked out.
That's what it
knocked
was.
down, dead.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was a graze. That's what it was.
Grazes, yeah.
Is that anything? Is that?
Don't worry about it. We're just trying to rush through this. I know you're. Grazes, characters who are behind cover must duck back even if the shot is stopped by cover.
Mm.
But then it doesn't tell me what happens if I'm not behind cover.
Yeah.
So there are holes in the rules for sure. Maybe if we're not playing this for the first time and I go and I read every fucking page because it does look like it's jumping around sometimes. But we're almost done. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
So Billy, this is Billy, right?
Yeah. You gotta shoot that wire
Billy.
again.
Billy's gonna shoot at Wyatt, who's out in the open here.
Yeah. There we go. I got him.
Shit. Okay.
All right. So first one is a 1.
That's in the head.
Second
You're gonna
one
kill Wyatt
is
in the
a
head?
1. No.
Oh, fucking graze. And Wyatt's out in the open, and we don't know what happens out in the open when you graze somebody, so we'll just say it's a miss. I think what the intention is probably the same thing as if you're behind cover, because I think what a duck back behind cover is you duck back and then you'll have to recover before you can do anything
Right.
in the future.
Which makes sense, but
But you
again,
need to write that out.
yeah, like, and then how many grazes before you die? You know, like,
Okay.
it seems like the only way to kill somebody is to get the right rolls on the, you know, the hit, and then the wound chart.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like the things. I mean, okay, I have 20 flesh wounds. I'm still walking around shooting at you.
Oh, you're wondering if we can have 20 flesh wounds.
Yeah.
Let's keep playing around and see what happens. But that would be hilarious. So, did you already move Billy, or don't remember? Did you already do Billy?
Yeah, we just did.
Okay. The Doc Holliday. So he was the one that was
Fell
knocked down.
Yeah.
So he needs to get up. So he's gonna choose the get up action. actions. Get up. A knockdown character gets up. Okay. Wyatt. Wyatt is right here, and Wyatt is gonna... This makes no sense, but this is how the rules work. I'm gonna challenge. Call one or more enemies to a duel in the open.
Okay.
You're in the open, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge you to a duel.
All right. Who's the fastest out of you? Out of
Well,
these
shit.
three?
Wyatt and Billy.
Probably.
Wyatt is lightning fast, so I get +3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy is callous, roping, tough, and that's it. I'll look up callous and tough. When hit by shooting or in a fight, subtract 1 from the effect dice. Never knocked down or knocked out.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, you roll 6 dice. And since I'm lightning fast, I had 3 dice in a fast draw situation. But I think the rules is like you can only do 1 fast draw. Like challenges, let's see, the Code of the West, making a fast draw. There are 3 situations in when you use the fast draw rules. When a character has an opponent within his fire arc and sees him attempt to draw his weapon. No, because we've already drawn our weapons. But you see how the rules are very open-ended?
Yeah.
When a character challenges one or more of his enemies to a duel.
So you can
normally
do that.
this is only possible before shots have been fired, but at the discretion of a game master, you can do it afterwards, after this. So no, that's not allowed. I'm just going to continue firing my normal, which was, at this point, I'm going to... Wyatt here?
Yeah.
He's still in close range. The dude right in front of him.
Does he
Flesh
take
wound.
one flesh wound?
Minus one
Minus
dice, so 5 dice. Here we go. That's a hit.
Yep.
2 6s don't matter.
Cool.
Which I don't like. That is a
2. There's a chest.
Wait, is it chest?
I think so.
I need to leave the page open. It's the chest. And it's a flesh wound.
All right. See, we're just gonna give flesh wounds to each other.
Yeah, I don't like that resolution. The gunfighter's ball is way better with it's like, oh, we immediately know what happens and there's some effects that happens. But this is, okay.
Okay.
Let's have this shuffles the cards back into the deck. I'm curious about the multiple flesh wounds.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, I'll look it up right now, actually, before this drags on too much further, because this system.
We could be here all day.
I love the rule book.
Yeah, the rule book.
And I love the thematic, but it's like, and it uses the hit locations, which I like. But if Gunfighter's Ball does literally everything better, then there would be no choice. There would be no point in playing this. But I'm gonna check out what happens when we have multiple things. So it does say -1 dice if you have a flesh wound.
Yep.
I'm wondering if maybe it says somewhere if you get a second flesh wound you die. That would make sense.
That would make sense. Or at least
I'm gonna keep
reading. Maybe 2 serious wounds. Or
there
two
is a serious wound.
Yeah.
Each serious wound -2 dice.
Okay.
So why would they specify a difference between serious wound and flesh wound? Well, I guess because you can get a serious wound right away and get -2 right away instead of getting -1 right away. That's the difference between those two.
Yeah, but does 2 serious equal 1?
Yeah. Does 2 serious
dead
equal a dead?
Yeah. Or 4, flesh wounds equal serious,
The effect, it says here the effects of injury. Flesh wound. Movement is reduced by 1 dice for each flesh wound on a leg. This is cumulative to a minimum of 0 movement dice. Shooting is reduced by 1 dice for each flesh wound on a firing arm. Again, cumulative, though there is no minimum. So eventually you can't shoot anymore. And we need to be cognizant of where we're getting these flesh wounds, because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to actually mark.
Yeah, we have
where
to
we're
mark.
getting. My bad.
Yeah, okay.
A serious wound is no movement or turning is permitted with a serious leg or belly, because turning and facing in this game is a thing. Characters with a serious arm wound cannot fire a pistol or rifle at all, or reload a weapon at all. So essentially what you could do is your character could go down to effectiveness 0.
He's a potato. He just.
So it does make sense.
Yeah.
So there's not infinite flesh wounds, so the system works. We'll just do one single more round. Here we go.
All right.
Tom. Tom?
Yeah.
Tom has 2 flesh wounds.
He has a graze and a flesh wound because he got hit in the head and he got grazed.
Yeah, but I didn't mark that. He's had multiple wounds.
Yeah, he's got.
Did I mark that on accident? Because this is a flesh wound.
Okay.
-1 dice. Go.
Okay. So 4 dice. Right?
Yeah. Who's shooting?
Who's in front?
This is Morgan.
Okay.
Shooting at Bill Paxton.
Gotcha.
Damn it.
Let me give you another flesh wound. Here you go. A 5.
A 5.
That's like your toe. And then a 2. That's a graze. That's a graze.
It's a 5 is a belly. A belly is a good one,
okay.
Jay.
I grazed your belly.
But a 2, guess what?
A graze.
Flesh wound.
Oh, why you put it on me?
But it's a flesh wound. Oh, it's a flesh wound belly. But there was no result for a flesh wound belly.
Right.
All right. Okay, yeah. All right, moving on. Ike. Ike is the one that's knocked out?
Yeah.
Roll a 6 and he'll wake up.
Wake up. No, he don't wake up.
Chad, this is ridiculous. Thank you for putting up with this. Okay, so he doesn't wake up, and then we move to Doc Holliday. You know what? This is the only one I care about. He's got a shotgun, and I've been firing with a pistol. We need to go with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So there's a pistol and the rifle, and then there was something that it's like, use this to make shotguns to make shotguns easier to fire. So there's completely different rules for shotguns?
What?
Oh, shit. Well, let's use them. Shotguns, page 42.
If you graze me, I'm quitting.
Yeah, I'll quit too. Firing shotguns. Shotguns may fire 2 blasts in the same turn, once for each barrel. Both barrels are then fired simultaneously at the same target spot. Aiming. First, mark out your target spot. There should be a point about 12 inches from the character firing the shotgun. This indicates the approximate direction he's pointing the weapon. You should mark this spot with a small marker. A coin or blob of blue tack works well. Are you serious?
What?
A blob of plasticine or blue tack. We use one of the pieces of cat litter. We use one of the pieces of cat litter that we also use to represent small rocks on our terrain features.
Okay.
All right. Now throw the accuracy dice. You throw 1 red dice for right and 1 black dice for left. Give me one of your dice. Okay. Red is right, blue is left. The difference is the distance you should move your marker.
So 1 inch.
So if the right comes up with 3 and the left dice comes up with 5, you should move the marker 2 inches to the left. Oh, I see what's happening.
So 1 inch to the right.
To the right. So that's stupid, but it'll still hit you because it has a radius of 2 inches wide.
Yeah.
So, but if you throw shit really wild, let's try 4 to the left too. So it's 2 inches that way. Oh, it'll hit both of these guys. Okay, I don't know. That's kind of cool, but it's overly complex. Why not just use a template and say go?
Yeah.
I can put it where I want.
Yeah.
Not, this is how I fire guns in real life. Whoa!
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes
maybe.
this one. Maybe some because I'm throwing dice. Whatever. Okay, I hit 1 guy. Now, 3 to 6 inches. Number of wounds per hit, 2 wounds. Throw separately for the location of each wound. Okay, so all that did was an auto hit, essentially, and now I do 2 wounds on you instead of 1 because it's a shotgun. Nah, I don't like it. So here is the first one.
Overly complicated.
You're hit in the head with a shotgun
One again.
pellet. One
you grazed
again,
me.
it's a graze. The second wound from the shotgun is a 2, which is the chest, and a 3, which is a flesh wound.
Okay.
But again, in the chest, a flesh wound, we don't really know. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Rules with no name.
Yeah.
Done. Not for me. This one is gonna have to be more run by Game Master and have very specific setup.
Yeah, because the game. You
So
got hit in the stomach and it's a flesh wound, but you have to crawl away or
Yeah.
something. You know? They have to put more to like the narrative portion of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're leaving it open for.
The rules are free, and that kind of reflects that quality there. Now we'll move on to What a Cowboy.
What a cowboy.
What a Cowboy
By Two Fat Lardies.
by Two Fat Lardies, which they're very popular. They've got lots of games,
They got a bunch of
and they use
popular
similar
games, yeah.
systems sometimes. But this one is quite interesting, so let's go and check it out. What my good Western music, man? Last time we had some good Western music that I used over here. I want to hear that again. Maybe if I go into my history and then I type Western
Yeah.
history, and then over here, West. So February 22nd, I think, is
It's
kind
probably
of
around there, yeah.
when we were doing a dark Western. Oh no, February 5th. Oh, I didn't save it then. That's just what we've been listening to. No. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for this one, where the fuck did I put Morgan?
He's right there, behind the barrels.
So we have 6 dice for each card, Jay.
Oh, okay.
So bust out your dice, buddy.
Alrighty.
So this one is gonna use a
You got my cards.
action cards, or action character card thing.
Yeah. Give me my cards.
I can do card.
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't. I got them.
You got your card.
Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's what you said.
All right.
Liar.
So, Frank and Tom. 6 dice per action, are my action dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, this what a cowboy actually comes with. I bought these, or maybe I should use them. These are wooden
Nice.
Bonanza tokens,
Yep, there.
and then some actual dice.
Cool.
Maybe enough for me.
Okay.
6, 6, 6, 5. Are you kidding me?
5.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
6. I was
gonna
about
say.
to be pissed. What the hell are these cards? Oh, okay.
Deck of playing cards.
Deck of playing cards just in the theme.
Okay.
But I don't think they're special at all or anything. Wagoner, Stagecoach, Injury Tech. No, they are. If you could shuffle these real good, maybe even do a magic shuffle. Oh, if you know magic shuffle.
I don't know what a magic shuffle means.
I just like throw a few of them out and put them in different stacks. Weird shit like that. This is not Wild West.
It's yeah, something.
I just want Wild West music, man. That's it. At this point, fucking care if it's copyright. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah, that is gonna be copyright. That's the best.
Oh,
Best.
there's a game deck and a Desperado. There's 2 decks in here.
Oh shit. Sorry. Go ahead and.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm okay with fucking.
Alright, so game deck, Desperado. Game deck, Desperado. Game deck.
See, character cards. You will need 1 card for each character or henchman group present in the game. As the turn progresses, cards are dealt 1 at a time to determine the sequence of play. When a character card is dealt, they are activated and take their turn. Desperado cards. Desperado cards reflect the fickle hand of fate that watches over our characters as they strive to carve out a reputation and stay alive. Desperado cards add an element of unpredictability to our games. They may only be used by the character to whom they were dealt. Desperado cards are discarded once played. For each game, randomly deal each character 1 card from the Desperado deck. If you're playing a campaign, characters may gain additional Desperado cards. A Desperado card may be played at any time during the game and the effect will take place immediately. It may be used to interrupt an activation, a bonanza, or even a fast draw. This one has a fast draw too. Good. Before the game begins, check the scenario. The activation deck is then shuffled and placed where it's visible to all players, and the top card is turned to reveal which character or henchman group is now active.
You want me to pop those?
What?
You want me to
Pop
those?
them. Yeah. You will need 1 card for each character or henchman group present in the game. As the turn progresses, the cards are dealt 1 at a time to determine the sequence of play. When a character's card is dealt, they are activated and take their turn. 1 card for each character in the game. So you basically give me the where's the cards?
Right.
You actually have to write down what each of your characters, which card represent which character. Why are there 2 piles?
Desperado deck game deck.
Give me the game deck. Is this? this is weird because it's not a full deck.
Yeah.
What did they mean by this? You have to put them both to get a full deck, don't you?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I think this is just you have to choose one of these. So I'll be an ace, and I'll be another ace, and I'll be
8.
10
No, you want 8.
and a 10. Why?
You want aces and 8s.
Aces and 8s. You be 10s and 2s. The order doesn't matter. What do you want?
Give me jacks.
So, no jacks.
No jacks?
No jacks. No queens. No kings.
No.
It's just numbers. Give me the numbers.
Give me
7s.
7s. Yeah.
Lucky 7s. 7s and 10s?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, now you write down which of your characters is represented by which card. So, my, let's see, Doc Holliday is going to be the ace of spades. Wyatt Earp is going to be the ace of hearts. Morgan is going to be the 8 of spades. And then no, Morgan should be the 8 of hearts because he's got a big heart. And Virgil's more the badass, so he's going to have the 8 of spades. Okay. You do the same for your guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And so once we do that, then you go ahead and shuffle all those. I'll shuffle these Desperados again. Shuffle all those together, and then we will be done.
We don't use it? Oh.
No, those are for more characters
Okay.
to participate. And then the jokers are for Indians, because Indians can show up in the game.
Cool. Indigenous.
I'm going to leave them out for this game.
Yeah.
Just because we're testing out this
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
Okay, it said one card for each character, and I guess it just I don't know if it's goes to one guy. For each game, randomly deal each character one card from the Desperado deck. If you're playing a campaign, characters may gain additional Desperado cards. A Desperado card may be played at any time during the game and will take effect immediately. So I don't know if this actually means, you know, like it goes to one character and one character can use it only. So put the card on the character card for right now before we know.
Sounds like, but yeah.
But I think it actually does form a hand, and then you can kind of choose whichever one you want, which is what I was thinking. So I don't know if that's a thing or not. Okay, but we'll figure it out here soon. Setting up the game, so we did that. We got to kind of balance the game, the level and skills. So there's legends, there's gunslingers, there's shootists. So let's say that Doc Holliday is a legend. And which guy of yours is going to be a legend?
Well, there's got to be Billy and Billy.
Billy? Okay. And then let's do a gunslinger. I'll say Wyatt is a gunslinger.
Okay.
And you make one of your guys a gunslinger.
We'll
And the
do
rest
Frank.
will... The rest are going to be shootists. Shootist. And that balances the two sides. Because we'll have one legend, one gunslinger. That's 6 points and 4 points. That's 10 points. And then a shootist are 2 points each. So we each have 14 points. Winning the game. As much as we'd like to think our characters are invincible as heroes, life is sadly not like that. Forces will suffer casualties, and you'll need to consider their willingness to continue the fight. In game terms, whether they ride or die. When working out your force morale, the players establish their force ride or die rating by having their force morale total. In our example, the Bunting gang with a force morale of 15 will have a ride or die rating of 7. So half rounded down, what did I say, 14?
Yeah.
So we have
7.
7. It's 7. Our ride or die rating is 7. At the end of a game term, check the current morale status for each side as follows. Add up the relevant character morale rating for all the characters on your side still in play. Reduce that total by 1 point for every 2 points of shock present on your whole force. And add 1 plus 1 for any henchman group. We don't have any henchman group.
Yeah.
For any henchman group with 2 models or more and within 6 inches of any friendly character. If the result of the figure is equal to the ride or die test, then you ride for the hills. All right. Before the game begins, we'll do the scenario. We're just going to do the OK Corral. All characters begin the game with a hand of 6 action dice. This may reduce either permanently or temporarily. The number of action dice rolled when a character is activated will always be those present in the action dice section of the character sheet. When a character is activated, the player rolls their action dice currently in their hand and then plays all, some, or none of the dice in any sequence they wish. Okay, let's begin the game. So, here is the OK Corral. And let's set it up. Turn over the first card.
Of course.
Who is it?
Whoever the ace of spades is.
Ace of Spades.
Hello.
It's Doc Holliday.
RJ, welcome.
So Doc Holliday rolls all of his action dice.
All right, what's that mean?
I got 2 pistols. I got 2 men. I got
2
1
mans,
boot.
1 boot,
And I got 1 ace. So this will determine what actions I can do.
Okay.
Bring it over here. So that's what I got. An action dice roll of 1 is a move dice, so this is a move dice. This allows the character to move.
Okay.
God damn it. So I'm going to use this dice to move. This allows a character to move. Some movement is simple, such as moving on an open ground. Some is more challenging. There are 2 types of movement, basic and enhanced. The first move dice used for basic movement always allows a character to move 2d6 in inches.
Okay.
Each subsequent move dice will add a further 1d6 in inches.
Okay.
All right, 2d6 movement. I can move 6 inches.
Cool.
I'm going to move. Morgan is going to move behind these barrels. Or Doc Holliday is moving behind those barrels. Okay. And then let's see what happens. Okay. What else can I do? Spotting, aiming, Shooting or reloading. Ace is high. Let me see this dice. So I'm going to say that ace is high as the card. The pistol is shooting or reloading. The eagle is
Spotting, right?
either spotting or aiming. I think that's aiming because spotting is probably the character because you're seeing an enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, so aiming is the eagle eye and spotting is the dude. So apparently in this game, you have to spot somebody before you can shoot them. On an action die roll of 2, that's a spot dice. These allow a character to spot a target. Spotting characters in cover requires more spotting dice than spotting somebody out in the open. So,
Interesting.
I like that. So you gotta see your guy. Now, it's a little ridiculous when we're standing right in front of each other, but obviously when we're moving around and shit in a normal game, then it's fine. So to spot somebody who is in range 12 inches or less, 0 dice. To spot somebody who is range 12 to 24, it's 1. Each additional 12-inch range is another 1. If your spotter is higher than the target, you get 1 dice less, so it's easier to see somebody. If they're higher than you, it's harder to see somebody by 1. If the target is in cover or up to 4 inches of area cover, it's +1. For each additional piece of cover, it's +1. And if a target has a pinned token and is behind cover, it's +1. So it's 0 dice to spot you. So unfortunately, my spot dice here, these 2 spots, will do nothing this turn.
So you roll these dice every turn.
You roll these dice every turn, and then you spend the dice. Or not every turn, but each time your character activates. Okay, so luckily, I do have 2 shooting bits. So 1 shooting die results in a single shot at the target from a pistol or a rifle. Multiple shoot dice may be played in an activation with the character taking 1 shot for each. Reduce the character's ammunition on their character record sheet for each shot taken. If more than 1 shot dice is played, the shooter may allocate the shots to different targets as long as all the targets have been spotted and are in your 180-degree front arc visibility. So this has arcs as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 2 shots. First things first, we're going to go with the shotgun. The shotgun range is 9 inches. So my shotgun is going to fire at this guy who is Frank.
Frank? Okay.
Frank is getting shot with a shotgun. The notes are double-barreled, buckshot, and shotgun. So whatever that means. To shoot, simply roll 1d6 and apply the following modifiers. Pistol or sawed-off shotgun at 4 inches or less.
Yeah, that's 4 inches.
Just about 4 inches. That's a +1 dice. So I'm rolling 1 dice plus 1 dice for being at that range.
Okay.
For each aim dice that you had used, it's a +1. If you're shooting at a shitty henchman, it's a +1. Okay. None of us are henchmen. All right, that's it. A modified roll of 1 to 4 is always a miss. A hit is scored on a modified roll of 5 or more. Apply the following modifiers. Oh, those are modifiers, not additional die. So I get a +1 modifier to this roll. Ready? Ready.
No, nothing for movement?
Nothing for movement. Cool.
So just range and aiming.
Yeah. 2. It's a miss.
Okay.
Okay. But I have 2 guns, remember?
Right.
So I can take 2 shots. But if you would remember, so I'll take one of these dice out, and I'll take another dice out. But remember, my gun only has 2. It says ammo 2.
Yeah.
So this would be my final shot, and I miss again with the shotgun. Okay. Now I'm out of ammo.
Could you reload with the wild card, right?
Yes, and then you need to spend a shoot or a reload dice, which a dice roll of a 4 or 5 may be used as either a shoot or a reload. A reload allows a character to reload one round into their weapon.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to just mark 1 round. I'm reloading 1 round with the ace.
Okay.
That completes my turn for Doc Holliday.
Interesting.
And I should have looked at my card to see if this could have helped. Yeah, this could have helped. What I could have done is I could have done this, which is thunder or cannon fire. It's all the same. Use as an additional aim dice in your activation. So I could like aim and then fire.
Yeah.
But because I rolled, I think it was a 2 and a 3,
Right.
it still would have missed. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. Now we pull the next card.
All right. So we have a 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts is my guy. That is Morgan. Morgan is this guy right here. Morgan is going to take a shot at the guy directly.
I think that's Tom.
Okay. Let me look at my card. I'm going to use it. It's used as an additional aim dice in the current activation. So he's going to have a free aim dice.
Okay.
And let's roll his activations. Oh, man. He's only got 1 shot. And I can use the ace to turn into a shot. And that's just spotting. And this is moving. So I can move if I want. And
You can do 3d6 movement.
right.
If you use both of them.
Right, if I use both of them. I'm not going to move at all. I'm just going to play it risky. I'm going to fire twice.
Okay.
Okay, fire twice. And
So what's the base again? Base of
the
5?
base is you need to hit a 5
a 5.
with
And
the
then-
modifiers.
Excuse me. Because you're so close, you get a +1, so you need a 4,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah. So 4 or less. Here we go. Miss. Oh, no, because I aimed. Remember?
Oh, yeah. So 3.
So that goes up. That 3 then goes to a 4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's still a miss.
No, you need a 4.
Need a 5.
But
1 through 4 is a miss.
But you're at close range, so you get a +1.
Oh, so that 3 was a 4-5 because 1 for being close and 1 for aiming. So that's a hit. We hit! Joe 2423, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting our show.
Very nice.
Okay, that
Very
is
nice.
awesome of you. So Morgan has hit
Tom.
Tom. So I hit that guy. In What a Cowboy, a hit means that the general target area has been hit. However, the target still has a chance to avoid damage by diving clear or dodging back into cover in a cinematic manner. This is called a dodge. In most situations, when hit by a shot, the target character will roll 1d6 to see if they successfully make a dodge. If the target is out in the open, a successful dodge is a 5 or a 6.
Okay.
If you already have a pin token, you may not attempt a dodge. If you're in cover, a 4, 5, or 6 will be a dodge.
Oh, okay.
If you're pinned in cover, it's a 5 or a 6. If a character fails to dodge successfully, they suffer the effect of the hit
All
of
right.
the shot.
So 5 or 6.
5 or 6
There
to
we go.
dodge. Tom?
No.
Oh, what camera
Oh,
is
what
this? Is this a J dice cam?
Yeah. What's up with that?
What? Put it down?
It's there.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Oh, it just shows up randomly? The fuck was that? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Anyways, you rolled a 2
Yeah.
to dodge. You did not dodge.
Did not dodge.
Stumble. If a 1 is rolled while attempting a dodge, the target not only fails to make the dodge, but also and applies the result of the hit, but they also stumble, moving 1 action dice into their shock pool. Okay.
Ooh.
Hit effects. If a character is hit and fails to dodge, they will either take shock, be wounded, or be killed outright.
Ooh.
If a hit is scored and the modified dice roll is a 5 or more, check on the table below to see what damage is inflicted.
Okay.
If a hit is scored
What you did?
is a 5 or a more.
Yep. What you did?
Oh, well, that's a shock. Place one of your action dice in the character's shock pool. So basically how it would work, like let's say if you had 6 dice active, you would have to move one of your dice to your shock pool.
But it said go on the chart.
Yeah, this is the chart, the hit effect table.
You
So
roll
1
on
through
it.
4.
No, you roll on it. You didn't roll on it. It says if you hit the 5, the modified 5, then you roll on the chart. That's what you just said.
Oh, yeah.
So now roll on the chart.
No. No, it's saying the dice that was rolled. You know what I mean, dude?
Because from what you just said, it said...
If a character is hit
Yes.
and fails to dodge,
Right.
they will either take shock, wounded, or be killed.
Right.
A hit, I don't know why it's going backwards now. It's going backwards. A hit is scored if the modified die roll is a 5 or more.
What you did.
Okay, but it's talking about that dice. The result on the dice that I rolled a long time ago when I hit you, which was a 3, which then got modified up to a 5.
Right.
You're not re-rolling on a new chart. That's not what it says. And then here's the hit effect table. 1 through 4, no effect. That's the hit roll because you don't hit on a 1 through 4. You only hit on a 5 or above. Now, if you hit a 5, it's a graze and it's a shock. So you move one of the dice from your action pool into your shock pool. If I had gotten up to a 6, like I rolled better on my initial hit roll, you would lose 1 action dice permanently. It comes out of the entire character card. Lose 1 action dice permanently and place 1 action dice in your shock pool. If I manage to get a 7 or above, which a modified like shotguns and things like that, that's a critical wound. Place a pinned token next to the target, roll on a critical wound table below, and apply the result. So that's when you go to a critical wound table, and let's say I did it. A 1 would be a leg wound. Ability effect. Lose 1 pip per d6 of movement. And lose 1 action dice permanently. Place 2 action dice in the shock pool.
So you got to remember what you rolled and what your modifiers on. And keep that number in mind.
Yep.
In case you do or don't.
Yeah.
The
So
opponent
just
doesn't
move the
dodge.
dice aside and hold the dice. I
Alright.
don't. I'd rather just re-roll again
yeah.
because I often forget
And
about
then-
that.
Yeah,
but,
and then just add modifiers that way too.
yeah,
That's fine.
but that's how it works.
All right.
So did you do that?
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
This guy got hit.
So
He got hit with a 5,
It's a
so
shock.
you just move 1 action pool into your shock pool
okay.
for that guy. Okay. That's it, right? Or yes, because I've used up all my action dice.
Okay. 10 of hearts.
10 of hearts is
Ike.
you.
Ike
Which one is Ike? This guy?
Yep.
So roll your dice,
All right. Let's see what we get. All right. So
and if you don't remember, 2 is spotting.
one
4s and
spotting.
5s are the ones that you want for shooting.
okay, I got 4s and 5s.
A lot of them. And then
It's 2 6s.
1 is move. Do you have any moving?
I don't have any.
Not a
moving.
damn move.
No.
6s is the ace high. You can turn it into anything.
Okay.
3 is aiming. Do you have any 3s?
No 3s.
No 3s. And that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
So what do you want? What can you? What do you
4s
want to
and
do?
5s. So I can
4s and
shoot 3
5s.
times.
Shoot/reload. But if you use them all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I can aim twice
aim twice.
and then shoot. Right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Let's see if the aims are
How- yeah,
cumulative or is
yeah.
it per bullet.
Per yeah. That's a good question.
Aim. A character may always shoot at a spotted target without aiming. However, they can improve a chance to hit and to damage their target by playing one or more aim dice. For each aim dice played, it's a +1 added to that hit roll for one shot.
Okay.
So you can go +2.
So I can go +2, but just for one shot.
One shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I'll do that for the first one, and then the second two, I'll just whatever.
Okay. So let's do the dice now. Dice economy. Just subtract 2 dice.
Yeah. So 2 dice. So 1 aim, or 2 aim and 1 shoot.
Yeah, 2 aim and 1 shoot.
All right. And
And fire.
Yeah.
Just fire now, and then we'll see from here.
So I hit a 5.
You hit me.
Yeah. So.
But there's modifiers.
Right.
So you went up to a 6. Did you also go up to a 7?
And then, okay, so.
Oh, you
8.
aimed.
8. It will go up to an 8.
Who were you shooting? You didn't tell me.
Why?
Nah, you didn't shoot. You didn't tell me what you can shoot.
I was gonna shoot.
Who was going? We'll go the guy.
Ike. It was Ike.
The guy right across from him.
No, I want
Virgil.
white. I want white.
No, you didn't tell me what. Fine. All right, Wyatt. Okay, so 8 on Wyatt.
Yeah, because 1 for the range.
Yeah.
And then 2 for aiming.
All right, Wyatt gets a chance to dodge.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Wyatt is out in the open. He's only going to dodge on a 5 or a 6.
Right.
Come on, Wyatt. Come on, Wyatt. Yeah! Let's go, Wyatt. Let's see. Do I get to a successful dodge? A character who makes a successful dodge has not been hit, as they've literally dodged the bullet. The character who dodges will have a pinned token placed next to them, unless one is already present. So I am pinned. Characters may never have more than 1 pin token. Where a character is adjacent to a solid structure that blocks line of sight, a successful dodge will force them back out of line of sight. Where there is cover or area cover within 4 inches, a successful dodge allows the character to dodge into or behind that. So that's what I'm going to do. That is so cool. I like that. So he successfully...
Happy Abyss.
Hey, thank you. Happy Abyss. Joe, have you ever watched The Wild Bunch? I was surprised at how much it reminded me of Red Dead 1. A heist goes wrong and the crew ends up in the middle of the Mexican Revolution, just like when John went after Javier.
Yeah.
No, The Wild Bunch. Is that what Emilio Estevez?
No, it was Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. The Wild Bunch.
Oh, I've seen that.
I think that's it.
It has a sad ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
it was really good.
Mexican Army.
Really?
Kind of does something. Cool.
Happy Abyss. That was a great movie.
Or
okay.
no, it was actually the Peruvian Army.
I don't know.
Right? Because they got all the way down to Peru, right?
Yeah. So Tom shot at Wyatt. Wyatt successfully dodged. So I'm giving him a pin token, and he gets to move behind cover within 4 inches.
Yeah.
That's a really nice, clean, great mechanic, and I enjoy it. All right, let's move on.
All right. So now I can shoot at who's in front of me, Virgil, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can continue shooting with different targets. So how many dice do you have left?
I have 2 dice left to shoot.
And the 2 was a what?
The 2's spotting. Was it spotting?
Yeah. No, that's yes. 2 is a spotting. You don't need that.
All right. So next shot.
Now, okay, this is your 3rd shot.
Yeah.
So you have to mark that you've used 3 bullets.
Yep. 3. No, won't hit.
Won't hit.
No.
Okay. You want to take a final shot, or you want to reload 1 bullet?
No, I'm gonna take a final shot.
Final shot.
4 will hit.
No.
Yeah, because I'm close range.
Oh, just barely.
1, yeah.
So it's going to move a dice into the shock pool for Wyatt. However, hold on. Because I'm now behind cover, remember.
Not Wyatt, Virgil. Whoever's in front.
Did you say
up.
Virgil?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 or 6 to dodge out in the open. A failure. So Virgil takes a hit and moves one of his dice into the shock pool. Okay. I think there has to be 3 spots on a character card for your dice, because there's also permanent loss of dice. Right. But I guess you could just pull that off the board.
Just pull it off. Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so we're good to go. Now, what else? That's it. You're done with that one. Okay. And you didn't want to use the Desperado card then?
I mean, can you use that in addition to?
You can use the Desperado card at any time.
All right. Well, guess what? I'm gonna throw
it on the green screen.
I'm gonna use this one.
What is it?
Duck, you sucker.
Duck, you sucker. Throw a stick of dynamite at a character within 12 inches? Jesus Christ. That'd hit them both. That never happened in the OK Corral. Roll a dice.
All right. So on a 1, I take a wound.
Okay.
Because it blows up on me.
Blows up in your.
On a 2 through 5, you take D3 shock. On a 6, you take a wound.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. And this is going at Virgil again. Out in the open. So 5. So you take D3 shock. 2 shock.
Well, he already had 1 shock on him, so now he's half shocked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I don't know. Do you get that back? Do you get shock back?
I think so. I'll have to continue reading, but.
And that's that.
Okay, draw up the next character.
All right, so next card is 10 of spades. Is that me? Yeah, that is me. That's Billy Clinton.
All
right, let's see what his...
Who's gone? Morgan gone went.
All right, so I've got 1, 6, 3 5s, 4 and 5s, a 2 and a 1. All right. So let's move. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move with
who's
1
moving?
moves, right?
Who's the one going?
Billy.
Billy?
Yeah. It's 2d6, right? Movement?
2d6 when you use a single step. If you add more, you get plus
Right.
1 die.
I only have 1, so 5 inches. Let's move. Let's just move up a little bit. That way.
Are you going to turn towards?
Yeah, towards Doc and try to shoot him. Or I mean, towards Wyatt and try to shoot him.
Okay.
So I moved. I will use 1 aim and 1 shot.
Okay.
Here we go. First shot.
But did you mark that your other guy had 3 shots? Just do 3
Yeah,
lines.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hit with a 6.
Why? Oh, aim and close.
Right.
Okay. I got to do a dodge.
Yep.
You're negating my cover because you walked over here.
Right.
5 or 6. Hey,
Nice.
Morgan or Wyatt once again.
He run away.
He can get in cover if he wants, within 4 inches. Let's say he ducks behind this horse.
All right. All right, I'll shoot at who's that over there. So do you get another pin though? And another shock? Right? Or just a pin? How's that work again? Don't you still get some kind of effect even though you did dodge?
Yeah, you can only ever have 1 pin though.
Okay.
Let's see if pinned actually did anything when you shot at me.
Okay.
Pin tokens. Oh, that's a lot of references. You know, reference every single time you pin. Reference a character at a momentary disadvantage. That's all that one said. 15. Removing a pin token. During play, characters will see pin tokens when they dodge, fall, fail to remain in control when mounted, or suffer critical wounds. When activated, a character with a pin token must remove that token before playing any other action. That's what it is.
Okay.
Playing a move dice will remove a pin token, and the character may be repositioned 1 inch to face in any direction. Once a pin token is removed, the character may play any remaining action dice. If the move dice is not available, the character may not play any of their blah, blah, blah. Okay. But anyways, you're done?
No, I was going to shoot at...
You have stuff left?
Yeah, I got 2 shoots left.
Okay. Unfortunately, because you're facing in that direction, facing does matter.
Well,
So
it makes sense if he goes straight that way, right? And he has a 180, right? Is that right?
yeah, so you wanted to do something like this?
Yeah, so he can shoot
180 that way,
Yeah.
180 that way.
It is 180, right?
Yeah, it's 180.
Okay. All right, then we're good. On the next one, it's just a +1, so I need a 4 or better. Nope. Miss. And the last shot at the same, was it Virgil again? No, miss.
So that guy fired 3 bullets?
Yes. I'm assuming we have six shooters, right? Pistols.
Yeah, Creed 4747, we agreed, kill team, high learning curve, but fun once you get into it.
Yeah.
But it's a little much for us. Things go a little faster.
Yeah.
I really wish I liked Kill Team more. I'm going to keep an eye on future editions for it.
Yeah.
All right, draw a card for me.
7 of spades.
That's your guy, I
That's
think.
me. That's Frank McClure. Let's see.
Which one's Frank?
Frank
This one?
is Tom Frank. Yep. All right, so I've got 3, a 2, a 5. What was 3s again? 5s and 4s. 1, 6.
1 is a move.
Mm-hmm. What was a 3?
2 is a spot. 3 is a name.
Aim. Oh, okay. So I basically can have 2 aims. All right. All right. So with he doesn't have any moves. With
Well, that's thematic. They're frozen in place.
yeah, Frank, he will shoot his first shot. Aim.
Aim at Morgan over here.
Yeah, let's do Morgan. So, looking for a. I want a high number. Anyway.
The game you played was like starting 2,000.40K
8.
game. Warcry is a perfect pickup. I love Warcry. We love Warcry, but it's a little bit more, what would you call it, Creed? Programmable. Like, the results are, like, I can tell, I can kill this guy immediate. Like, things happen without you really doing,
Right.
what do you call that? Predetermined, or it's almost like,
predetermined.
yeah. And some people like that where, we're just trading. I'm trading my guy because I know the second my guy hits you, you're dead.
Right.
Because you don't have a lot of health and my guy has a lot of hitting power. And so it's like trading pieces back and forth. But it's definitely simpler, faster, and frankly, we like the rule system of Warcry better if it's balanced, and because you could roll and get stuff done real easy.
Yeah.
Not sure about Warcry, but I hear Jay likes Cry. Shut up, Taboons.
Baboons.
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 Okay, what's up? What'd you do?
8. It's a 8.
Did you fire all 3 shots?
No, that was my first shot.
Okay.
you
My
gotta dodge.
boys out in the open. Damn, we didn't dodge this time. We've been getting lucky with the dodges. And unfortunately, an 8 is a critical wound.
Okay.
Place a pinned token next to the target. Roll on the critical table for a result.
All right. So what's the roll? Just a d6? Just one d6?
It is a 1d6.
Oh, actually, let me see what the card is. There we go. A 3.
A 3 is a chest wound. Result, there's no other modification to a chest wound. However, for a chest wound, it's lose 2 action dice permanently. So I'm going to place these out of the game. So let's go on over to my card view here, which is being blocked by this. So this is the guy he shot at. I'm going to take 2 of these dice out of the pool permanently and then place 1 action dice in the shock pool. So 2 permanent loss, 1 into shock. That's one of the worst results that you can get.
And I got...
Darn you, carrot cake. You have no super
Alchemist! Weird, I
Virginia?
subbed over a week ago. When you get a chance, I suggest watching The Bluff on Amazon with Carl Urban. It's a gruesome combat set and sets right out of Windrose. Highly recommended. That's that pirate one, right? Okay,
Sounds cool.
I'm down for any pirate movies.
I'm going to check that out.
Okay,
Pirate movie, yeah.
done?
No, I got 2 more shots.
Bro, you just hit me with 1 shot?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was my first shot.
Ooh.
All right, second shot. A 6. Plus 1 is 7. Dodge it.
Yeah, I gotta dodge this. Fuck, I was 1 off from dodging it. So a 7. A 7 is a critical wound. I'm already pinned. You get to roll on the critical table again.
All right, here we go.
I might kill him.
4.
4 is a head wound. Oof. 1 additional spot dice required to spot a target. I have to.
You're right.
1 additional.
Right.
And then lose 2 action dice permanently. So I'm down to 1 dice. And then place 1 dice in the character shock pool. He is almost dead.
So what's that? What does that mean when you have them all on the shock pool? Then?
We'll see. We don't really know yet.
Yeah. Interesting. And then, okay, so for my last shot, I want to shoot at
This other guy?
Yeah, another
Virgil?
guy. Yeah, because let's see how this goes. All right, 3, 4. No. Yeah, that hits.
3?
3?
You rolled a 3?
No, I need a 4.
Yeah.
No, I need a 4. Never
Okay.
mind. All good.
All right.
All done. And that's 3 shots out of my aim.
All right.
My bullets.
Draw the next card.
All right, here we go. 8 of spades.
Well, buddy, that would be Virgil, and you've shocked Virgil quite a bit with that stick of dynamite. So he only has 3 dice.
Cool.
Use 1 additional. Okay. So I got to roll my 3 dice. What can he do? Ooh, he
nice.
can move
Move
and
and
shoot
shoot.
twice. That's
That's pretty good.
basically the best thing that I could have gotten for Virgil. Since I can move at the end, I'm going to shoot first.
Right.
There's no real advantage to shooting anybody. I guess I'll shoot your best character, which is who'd you make the legend?
Legend is Billy, actually.
So this guy?
Yeah.
All right, I'm shooting at Billy with 2 shots, and I'm just gonna roll the dice right away.
Does your shock impact your shooting? Like,
No, it just prevents me from using those dice.
okay.
But I'll go look it up just in case. So the first one is a +1, but a 4 is a miss, and that is a miss. So unfortunately, Virgil misses twice and moves 2d6. Thank God for the fast move.
Nice.
8 inches. Let's get Virgil back behind this barrels here. Okay. That completes his turn. Okay. Next card.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts is. Ace of Hearts is White Earp. the guy that's been bouncing all around. So, got to roll 6 dice for Wyatt. But I need 1 movement dice.
Don't get it.
Guess what? The pin really fucked me.
Yeah.
So that is the one instance where a pin can fuck you royally.
Yeah.
Because you needed a move, and I don't have an ace. Oh, I do have an ace, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I can turn that into a movement to clear. That was close, though.
Yeah.
To clear the pin.
Yep.
And then we can take the rest of these, which is just aim, shoot. The spots do nothing. So I'm going to double aim and shoot the guy right in front of me.
Yep. That's Billy.
Okay. Shooting Billy. Fuck.
Didn't aim very well.
That's a 3 plus 1 for the close range. 4 almost.
Yeah.
But still a failure. And plus, I would think that a 1 is probably always
yeah.
a miss.
Yeah.
So that ends my turn. Go ahead and draw the next card.
All right. And then finally coming up is Tom Glory. All right. So he already has 1 shock on him. Let's see what he can get with his rest of his 5 dice. All right, so I got 2 moves and 2 shoots, and that's it. In a spot. All right, let's do a move. Let's do a move with 3 dice. Let's see how far we can get. Run up on Wyatt over there. Yeah, I can do that. So 9, 10, 11. I can run at 11. We'll be right there. So Tom, let's see. That's Frank. This is Tom. Tom over here, so he's facing this way with his 180.
The other thing an Ace's High does, an Ace's High dice may be played to recover shock, moving 1 action dice from the shock back into the action hand. An action dice recovered cannot be rolled in the current activation, but will be restored to the action dice area on the character record sheet and rolled when subsequently activated.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the only way to get it out. I'm going to keep looking. What else?
All right, and then I'm going to shoot. First shot is going at Wyatt. Let's see if we can get him. Nope, that's a miss. So 1. And then second shot is going at Wyatt. Oops. Come on. Get in the box. 6. 7. That's a 7. Wyatt's got to dodge.
Where is the shot?
Right there.
Damn it, you rolled up on him?
Yeah.
So 5 or 6 because he's out in the open because your guy smartly moved. Fuck!
All right.
So that is a 7. Chevin, which is, was that is a Chevin a critical?
Yeah, I think so.
Critical wound. Place a pin token next to the target. And then roll on the critical wound table.
2.
A 2 is an arm wound. -1 on all my subsequent shooting rolls.
Okay.
And I lose 1 action dice permanently. Okay. And I place 2 action dice in the shock pool. Damn. That hurt.
All right.
Oh, this goes here. Because you were firing at Y, right?
Yeah, Wyatt.
Is that all?
That is it.
Okay, so that was basically the basic, but there's a few things that we're missing here.
Okay.
There's Bonanza tokens.
Okay.
The Ace's High can also be used as a trick shot. You could do trick shooting, but you have to be, skilled enough. There's Hollywood stunts with the aces.
Oh, nice.
But let's look at the Bonanza because that's probably the one mechanic that could have been helping us. But since neither of us used it, it's still fair game. So Bonanza. At the start of the game, any character who is not a greenhorn will be allocated one or more Bonanza tokens. Didn't you pop them?
Yep, I got them right here.
A Bonanza is a bonus activation. A character may play a Bonanza token at any time during gameplay, including during an opponent's activation. A Bonanza is a bonus activation. A character who has played a Bonanza will still activate as normal when their card is dealt from the game deck. A character can only play a Bonanza token to interrupt once per turn, but they may play more than one Bonanza token to fast draw or gamble. So, how do we know how many Bonanza tokens we each get? Playing a Bonanza token allows a character to do the following. Interrupting a character's activation. You may play a Bonanza to interrupt another character's activation. Shout Bonanza plays one of your tokens. No other character may interrupt the Bonanza. However, the active character may respond by playing their own Bonanza token, and that declares an immediate fast draw. That's cool.
Yep.
No other character may interrupt until the Bonanza and fast draws have been completed. The timing of the Bonanza is blah, blah, blah. Alright, when a Bonanza token is played, the interrupting player rolls their character's Bonanza dice. The number of Bonanza dice available depends on the character's level and the number of action dice currently available to them. The number of Bonanza dice rolled by a character is shown below. There are no minimum number of dice. Some characters with reduced action dice will get no dice. A Legend Bonanza dice is current action dice -1. Gunslinger's current action dice -2. Shootist current action dice -3. So those are separate Bonanza dice. The character interrupting now plays their Bonanza dice exactly as normal as action dice, with these determining what they may do. Okay. I still don't know how many Bonanza dice we get. Each character may have one or more Bonanza dice depending on the character's level. A shootist begins the game with 1. A character, a gunslinger with 2. A legend with 3. So give me
1, 2, 3. Shootist 1, and then 2. Okay.
So the Wyatt Earp has 3, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. And then
2 for Gunslinger?
Gunslinger 2, yeah, and then 1 and 1.
Oh, 2 for Gunslinger. Oh shit, I put Doc Holliday as my legend. That's fine. So Doc Holliday. Wait a minute. Oh, fucked up. Where's Doc Holliday? He didn't.
He's away.
He didn't take any damage, so Doc Holliday has no damage.
Right.
So I just need to swap these cards. Okay. So Doc Holliday was my legend with 3. My gunslinger is 2, and my shooters are 1 each.
Yep.
What is this one?
Just an extra.
Okay. All right. It sounds like a lot of rules always from the outside. These streams, you know, are not really that entertaining unless we know the game.
Right.
Learning sessions are always tough because it's like you can't keep up with our talking, you know, and you can't keep all the rules in your head.
Right.
Especially it's mainly
we're
just
jumping around like this.
Something to keep in the background. We appreciate you hanging out with us and just chilling with us. I need a beer right now, honestly. But once we finish and then we play the same game more than once, that's when it's a little bit more entertaining. Okay, so when working out, so that was one turn. At the end of a game turn, check the current morale status. So remember, a ride or die test. The highest level character remaining in the force will determine the number of dice. If a legend is present, roll 4d6. So I think you roll 4d6 and I roll 4d6.
Bunch of threes.
If no sixes are rolled, the ride or die test is failed and the force will ride for the hills. Any hostages or loot seized in the game is abandoned. If one or more sixes rolled, the force fights on until the next ride or die test. Hold on, we may not have even needed to take the test yet. Reduce the total by 1 for every 2 points of shock present across your whole force. So I have 2, 4, 6 points of shock. So my character morale rate total rating is 14. Then minus 6 minus 14.
8. I thought it was half.
Hold on, we don't do that yet.
Oh,
That's
okay.
something different.
Right.
Add 1 for each henchman group, blah, blah, blah. If the resulting figure is equal to or less than that rating that I came up with, the resulting figure is equal to or less than 7. So I would have failed, and you would have failed too.
No, I only have one.
Right, you have no shock.
I only have one shock.
One shock.
Yeah.
So technically my side would run for the hills, I think, right now. But we're not going to count that because we didn't use our bonanzas. You know, that would have changed the result probably. So we'll just make another test for Rio at the end. The highest level character remaining alive in the gang may re-roll the ride or die test if they play a bonanza token.
Well, there you go.
I can do that, but even if I fail, I'm still going to. So the 6 I fight on. You just need to roll 1 6.
Cool.
All right, so I basically lost a bonanza token. I'll take that, and then we can fight on. Okay, now this will go a little faster. If you'll shuffle the cards again, I think.
Yeah.
Also, a gunslinger may change one of the action dice rolled to any other result from 1 to 5. You can't go aces on it. So you get a free a gunslinger. A legend can change 2.
Wait, say that again?
If you're a legend and you roll your 6 action dice,
Yeah.
you can change 2 of them.
Oh,
If you're a gunslinger and you roll 6 action dice, you can change 1 of them.
Okay.
But what you're changing it to you can never change it to an ace.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's fine too.
I like this system.
Yeah, it's up there. It's one of
the better ones.
better ones, yeah, for sure. At least number 2.
Yeah. Let's finish this off. Go ahead and draw the card for us.
All right, so first card, 7 of Hearts.
7 of Hearts is, I think, you.
That's Tom McClory. That is over there. He will shoot at Wyatt. Oh,
This is Tom right here?
I got to roll first. Let's see if I can even shoot. All right, so 1 6, a 4, a 3, and 2 2s. So the 2 2s don't really do me any good.
If you're shooting at who? Wyatt? I'm going to play a bonanza.
Well, I'm going to play a bonanza too. How about that?
Hell yeah. Let's do a bonanza. You guys a bonanza?
Yeah.
All right. You have bonanzas. That starts a fast draw between our character. A new mechanic. Let's see what happens. Fast draw between Wyatt Earp and Tom McClory.
McClory.
Fast draw. All right, I need to figure out the rules for a fast draw. Fast draw is on page 38. Okay. What? It's not on page 38 fast draw. 43. Fast draw. An attempt to interrupt a bonanza. The classic Wild West showdown. Fast draw. When a character plays a bonanza token to make an interruption, the active character may respond by spending one of their own, declaring a fast draw. In a fast draw, both characters roll a d6 and adjust the result by adding their character level to the number rolled. So your guy is a shootist and my guy is a gunslinger. Okay. So the character with the higher adjusted score wins the fast draw. So a shootist adds +2, a gunslinger adds +3. So I basically just have a +1 on you.
Okay.
So no other bonanza tokens may be played until this is done. All right, here we go.
All right.
You versus me, I get a +1. Come on, Wyatt. Fuck. Rolled a 2.
I got a 4.
Fuck. So I got a 3, and you still win.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. If as a result of losing the fast draw, the character loses that opportunity they were hoping for. For example, if the active character moves, they must still play the bonanza token. A bonanza called cannot be uncalled, so I lose my bonanza token. If the active character wins the fast draw, they will play all of their unused action dice before the interrupting character may roll and play their bonanza dice. If the interrupting character wins the fast draw, they get to roll and play their bonanza dice before the active can finish their activation. So I was basically just trying to jump in front of you a little bit. But since I failed that, you get to go.
All right, so I will aim, shoot.
Fuck.
Here we go. So that's a
aim, shoot. That's a +3.
3.
That's
yeah.
a 7.
7.
All right, 7.
Dodge it.
Yeah, got me. And I'm not in cover, so I need a 5 or a 6 to dodge.
Right.
That is not a dodge.
That's not a dodge.
I can do a bonanza token may also be played at any time to re-roll any one hand of dice that your character has rolled. No. This can be an individual dice or a hand of dice that are rolled together, such as a shoot dice, a dodge roll. Okay, so a hand of dice. I thought that meant just the action dice, but no, it's any dice. All right. Re-roll any dice just once. Roll. You can also gamble to roll a d6 to remove that number of action dice from your shock and restore them to your hand. So that's another way to get rid of shock, is gambling. All right, but I'm going to get rid of my last gamble on Wyatt Earp. He has our last bonanza on Wyatt Earp to try to re-roll this and get a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Probably going to kill me.
All right.
This is on the critical wound table.
4. That's a good one.
I think it is. I don't remember what the 4 was. 4 is a head wound. Oh, shit. Lose 2 action dice permanently. Okay. I have 3 dice left here. And then place 1 in my shock pool. So Wyatt Earp is completely shocked and has, yeah, that's the result. All right. Next.
That's all I can do for him.
How's that guy not reloaded? How many bullets has he fired?
He's only fired 3. Because he fired 2 the first time and then 1 this time.
Okay.
That's it. All right, so next card. Oh, 10 of hearts. Oh, that's me.
No, that's me.
10 of hearts is me.
Oh, it's you?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's Ike.
Damn, man, you're having a big advantage in the card pool draw.
Let's see what we get. Ike. Come on, Ike.
In short time, your fate will
Hey,
be
thank you,
sealed.
Alden. 750. Good stuff as always, Joe. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel and stick with us, my friend.
All right. So 1 aim. Spot. 2 moves. All right. So here we go. Where's he at? Where's Ike at? Right there. He might just stay there and shoot at who's in front of him.
Where is that Ike?
No, Ike's right here.
Ike?
Yeah. Is that Morgan? Morgan in front of him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can 1 aim and 2 shoots. So my first shoot will have a +1, actually a +2 because of the range. So we're 6. Dodge that, sir.
No dodge.
All right, what's a 6?
Sick is a normal wound. Lose 1 action dice permanently. Place 1 in the pool. So 1, and then I've got nothing to put in the pool. I don't know what happens when you do that. Once a character has no action dice remaining in play, they either flee the table or are badly wounded and are deemed out of action. In either case, they are removed from play. If a character... What does that mean? Including shock?
I don't think so because, well, how do you can spend your token to regain your shock, right? Or regain the token.
Yeah, so I think that's just action dice.
Yeah. All right, and then my last shot at him again. Let's see if I can get a 5 or 6, 4, 5 or 6 actually. Oh, 5 total. So that will hit him. I don't think that'll really do anything.
Oh, dodged.
Okay, good. All good. Now I'm all done. So that was 2 shots with him. He's got 1 shot left, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we have 6 bullets.
6. Yeah, we have 6 shooters, so he has 1 shot left, really. And then he's got to reload.
Okay.
All right, next card. 10 of spades. Hey.
Bro, what the I was already in a hole. You had already kind of put me in a hole,
Yeah.
and 3 cards on top of that is
Yeah.
brutal.
It is. This is Billy Clinton. So where's Billy at? Billy's right there. Let's see what he can get with his activation dice. All right, I got 0 moves, which is horrible, but I got a bunch of shoots. 1, 6. So I got 4 shoots, shoot reloads, and then 1 ace and 1. I might use the ace to try to move. I need to get or.
So who is gone? This guy's gone, right?
Yeah.
This guy's gone?
He's going.
Going, and this guy's gone.
Yeah. All right, so let's. Oh, we're gonna shoot at. No, let's move in it. We'll move and shoot at Virgil. Actually, you know what? Doc's been over there pretty quiet. Let's try to move and see if we can get close to Doc. So I'm using my ace for the move. 5 inches. Oof. I don't know if that'll make it. Doc's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Now move me over here 5 inches, and I'll just shoot at who's that in front of him?
That is Wyatt.
Okay. That's Wyatt?
Yeah.
I thought Wyatt
But-
was closer. No,
That's not Wyatt. That's
Virgil, right?
Virgil.
Yeah. So we're shooting at Virgil. So I'm going to aim,
Yeah.
shoot on this first one. So that I'll use my aim up and 1 shoot so far. Here we go. That will not do it because it's only a +2, so that's only a 4. All right, I still have at least 2 more shots because of my ammo's running low. So let's go next shot, miss, and his last shot, miss. And then
Wow.
I'll do 1 reload.
1 reload to give you 1 bullet in your
One bullet,
chamber?
yeah.
Okay.
So that was a fistful of nothing.
Okay. Thank God for that. That might have helped turn the game for
I
me.
messed up.
What?
Damn it. I'm sorry.
Draw a card?
It's got to be, 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts. 8 of hearts is my worst guy. He only has 1 die left.
In the shock, right?
And Morgan. Where's Morgan? He's out in the open.
Yeah, out front.
And yeah, he'd probably have to use his bonanza to put that action dice back in the pool, and that goes back in the pool.
Yeah, because it's 1d6 action dice back into the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And let's see if I can move out of there. I cannot. Is he a gunslinger? No, he's a shootist. So yeah, he's screwed.
Because he still has a pin too.
Right, he needs the move in order to get rid of the pin.
Yeah.
And then I don't even get to move. I would need another move in order to actually move.
Right.
So the guy is pretty screwed.
All right. Next card, right?
Yeah, that was him. He does jack shit.
All right. Ace of Hearts.
All right, here's where I can do some good shit. Think Ace of Hearts is it's Wyatt Earp, and all of his dice are in shock. And that's Wyatt right here, and he's pinned. I don't remember how do we get out of that?
Yeah, I don't know what happens if all your dice are in shock. Not sure.
So this basically the game fucking ends quick if we're all out in the open.
Yeah.
Then it kind of resolves really quickly because the only way to get the shit out of the shock was when you're rolling action dice and you're getting aces.
Right.
The other method is spending a bonanza to gamble and rolling a d6 and getting that out of shock.
Well, do you roll your shock pool? When you roll all your action dice, even though you still have they're in shock, do you still roll them?
Right. And
to try
on the second turn, do you reset all your dice?
Well, no. It's like
no.
It's not that you're resetting them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you still have the chance from the 3 that you get in the like right now, the 3 that you have in the shock pool. Do you roll those on the chance that you would get a 6 and get to move that 1 dice up to the action pool?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only way I was liking the game a lot at first, but now when I see how it kind of moves this, that really restricts things, that shock. But that's supposed to be the wound system, essentially.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing you can do about it. Just don't get wounded. And so getting in cover is really, really important. And since we were shooting each other out in the open, we're heavily wounded, and there's really nothing I can do. Once a character has no action dice remaining in play, they either if the character out of action has lost more action dice to the shock pool than those lost permanently, the character flees the battle. If the character out of action has lost, once a character has no action dice remaining in play. If an out-of-action character has lost 3 or more action dice permanently, the character is badly wounded. Remove the character from the table.
Oh, wow.
That's lost 3 permanently.
Yeah.
So Wyatt would already be out.
And Morgan would be out.
And Morgan. So we didn't do that right. So this guy would be out, and then Morgan would be out. If an out-of-action character... Once a character has no action dice remaining in play, which I don't really know what that means. Does that meaning shock and action? That's the only weakness of this rule book here. Townsfolk. Yeah, I'd have to look at, somebody else playing the game to see how they did it, or look at FAQ to see how this action stuff works, because it's a little bit unclear on the shock.
Yeah.
But from what I see, I've got 2 guys left. But White Earp isn't one of them. So go ahead and we'll just act as if those guys are out of action and they ran away.
Yep.
Go ahead and draw the next card. I got 2 guys left.
7 of spades.
7 of spades.
That's Frank.
Your last guy right
Yep.
here. Bro, you drew all 4 of your cards before I get to draw. Well, I got 1 character.
You got 2 cards.
Oh, right. But my guys were dead.
Yeah. Frank will... Where's Frank at? Frank's right here. Yeah, Frank's right there. All right, so let's see. What action dice he gets. Oh, 2 6s, a 5. I needed that 2. 2 6s, a 5, and a 4.
Okay, I found it. So basically, once your action die once you run out of action dice, you're out of action, and that includes shock dice or something. They should have called it something completely different.
Yeah.
They should have just called it wounds.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's permanent wounds, would be a severe wound or something,
Yeah.
right? Because the shock pool, it says the shock pool is essentially dice that have been lost.
Yeah.
But recoverable.
Oh, so that's okay. Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, when Morgan lost all of his action dice and he was down to like 3 shocks, he was already dead at that point.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the board.
Yeah.
And same thing with Wyatt. So that fixes that little thing that we want.
So then in this case, is he still here?
Yeah, this guy's still here because he's got 3 action dice.
Okay.
He's basically at half health.
Okay. I got you.
All right, but what is your guy going to do?
Frank. Okay, so Frank is going to try number 1 to move. So 2d6, 4 inches. That doesn't get him very far.
Hello, Funky Messiah.
Yeah, I'm going to come back over here by Doc.
Yeah, Doc is basically my last guy and my only hope. So hopefully you mess this up and then Doc goes off on everybody.
All right, so I've got 2 shoots and 2 aims.
2 shoots, 2 aims. I'm going to bonanza you.
I'm going to bonanza back at you.
All right, that results in a fast draw. So we challenge each other to a fast draw. Clear your die.
Oh, yeah.
I have a +2 to you because you're a what?
I'm a gunslinger.
Oh, you're a gunslinger?
Yeah.
Then I have a +1 to you because I'm a legend. 5.
4.
Hey, I win.
Or, 3.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I get to do my actions before you get to do your actions.
Correct.
So I will roll all my dice. Oh,
a bunch of moves. All right. That's
However, I am a legend, which lets me re-roll 2, or is it re-rolling, or do I just get to move the result?
I thought you got to change it.
I think you
That's
just
what you
get to
said.
change it, yeah. Okay, well then we'll go to shooting. Yeah, we'll do 3 shootings.
Yeah. Remember, you only have 1 loaded.
I have
in your
1
shotgun.
loaded in my shotgun. So let's do one of those to reload it so that I have 2 ammo.
Okay.
And then we'll shoot those 2 ammo right now, and I'll be down to no ammo. So first shot against, obviously, the guy right next to me.
Yep, Frank.
And I don't know how a shotgun differs from thing. Let me look it up.
Yep. Yeah. Rexy Boo, that seems like it's the case
Double-barreled buckshot. What's the case?
that our action die is basically our health.
Yeah. Buckshot. There's no table. What the fuck does buckshot mean? Oh, it's back here. I don't see. Notes: double-barreled buckshot and shotgun. Well, where do I find out what that does? The gunsmith. It's got stuff like lightweight rifle, handguns, quick draw, lightweight. So I need to know what these weapon notes. Here they are. Damn it. Buckshot. Add +1 to hit up into effective range. Add +1 to the critical roll wound.
Nice.
And -1 over effective range. So basically I get a +1. So we get a lot of modifiers here, right? Because I'm in effective range, which is that plus. Yep. There's no aiming, but there is the buckshot. So that's +2 to my shot. Here we go.
To your roll, yeah.
So that's
7.
a critical hit.
Yeah. 7.
Plus,
you
what's
get a +1
cool
on the
is
roll.
I get a +1 on this critical roll.
Right.
So 4 gets turned into
5.
a 5, which is what? A 5 is a gut shot. You may not use more than 1 move dice for movement.
Okay.
You lose 3 action dice permanently. Pull them all out of the game. Put them to the side.
Yep.
No, like where? Oh yeah. Okay. And then what is it? Place 1 more action die in the character's shock pool.
Okay.
All right. So that guy has 2 wounds left, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. That was my shots.
That's your first shot.
That was my first shot. My second shot is going to be outside of effective range. Can you measure that for me?
You're going to try to shoot him? Okay.
Well, I got nobody else.
You can shoot him again.
Oh, yeah. I'll just... Oh.
Because if not, I'm going to shoot.
Right. I'm going to blast him.
Yeah.
So let's finish him off.
Yeah.
So I'm blasting you. Again, another +2. Shit.
Miss.
That is a miss.
All right, so now I finish off my turn with a shoot.
Hang on, I can re-roll it with my bonanza.
Okay.
But do I want to use my last bonanza? Am I that desperate? No, I feel like I'm gonna need to hang on to my last bonanza. Okay. So you got to finish off your turn.
Yeah.
With only 2 action dice.
Yeah, so I'm going to aim and then shoot.
Aim and shoot.
Or actually, I can shoot. What do I want to do? I'm going to aim and shoot.
Aim and shoot.
And then I'm going to use this card. And this one is inside the men. 3 were 3 bullets. There were 3 bullets. So basically, I get 2 shots out of 1. But it counts as 2 ammo.
Do you have 2 ammo?
Yeah, I have 3 ammo left. But this will be 2 shots for 1. So I'm looking for 4s just to hit you. 5s. No. 5s plus 2. My plus 2.
Why are you a plus 2?
1 for range, and then 1 for aim. All right, so a 7, 8, and then a 6. An 8 and a 6.
All right, I gotta dodge both of these. Yep. Hey, I dodged one of them. Can I dodge the other? Come on, Doc Holliday. No on that one. So I take, kind of rolled out of order.
They're both crits, right? The 6 is a crit, right?
6 is not a crit, a 7. So whatever. Because I got one guy left, basically. Yeah. We'll say I took out the bad one, and the other one hits me for a 6. That's a wound. Lose 1 action dice permanently. Place 1 action in the character pool. So 1 action dice permanently and 1 in the shock pool.
Okay.
So I got 4 wounds left on Doc Holliday there.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and draw a card.
All right, next one is Ace of Spades.
That is Doc Holliday. So I have an opportunity to basically turn the game around here. Doc Holliday, if I could finish blasting away that guy and then maybe get this dude out in the open, then these 2 are occupied with Virgil, but Virgil's probably going to die. So maybe Doc Holliday can save Virgil, but we're going to see. So unfortunately, Doc Holliday can only roll
4 dice.
4 dice.
And he's empty.
And I'm empty, right?
Yeah.
So here is my dice. Oh, I love the fact that I got plenty of this. And because he's a legend, I can turn this into anything except for an ace. I will turn it, I think, into a reload. So we're going to reload.
Aim shoot.
And then an aim shoot would take him out for sure. Yeah. But I can play risky and just shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot to finish off your guy in front of me, and then shoot to try to get that guy out in the open. I think I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and do that. Okay, so I'm using up all my ammunition.
Before you shoot, I'm going to bonanza.
You're going to bonanza with who?
With the guy you're shooting.
This guy?
Yeah. I have one.
He has one more?
Yeah.
Then I will bonanza your bonanza.
Okay. So we roll off. You get a +1.
Oh, wait, has your guy bonanza'd before?
Yeah.
He already bonanza'd. He can't bonanza.
He
can only bonanza once a turn. You already bonanza'd once an action for a fast draw. Yeah. So we can't fast draw again. So you can't bonanza right now.
No, I countered your bonanza. That's what you did. You started the first one. So I didn't do it.
Okay. How does that work? Let me check real quick. Character may play a bonanza to interrupt another character's activation. To interrupt another character's bonanza, play one of their bonanza. No other character may interrupt this bonanza. Yeah, well, you could do it. Okay, so then I need to have a choice. If you're bonanzaing right now,
yeah.
How many dice are you rolling?
I'm rolling 2 dice to try to see if I can shoot you.
Oh no, it's based on this. So what is your level? Is your character?
He's gunslinger.
Gunslinger. Your current action dice -2. So what are your current action dice?
2.
2 -2. You would have a 0 bonanza.
Okay. Well, we didn't do that last time, so I didn't know. So I'll not use my bonanza.
Yeah, don't use your bonanza. I won't use my bonanza. Okay. So continuing my turn.
Okay.
The shot right into your face. A shotgun blast right into that guy's face. Here we go. I would need, so that's a +2 since I didn't aim.
Right.
So basically, I'd need to roll a 4. No, a 3.
Yeah, 3. 3 will do it.
A 3 or above
Yeah.
to basically kill that guy. But if I roll only a 3, that will only be a 5, and that's just gonna place 1 into shock. Fuck. I gotta aim. I gotta aim to give me a +3 to ensure that this guy is blown away. So +3. And that was the right move because 4 + 3 is 7. That's a critical wound. So you'll get a pin token.
Let me try to dodge first.
Yeah.
I didn't do that last time, but it's all right.
Oh, shit.
5, I dodged.
Okay, you can immediately duck behind cover. But you're still pinned.
Yep.
Damn. And I'm out of ammo.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're back behind me. I like this game. It's a little kind of slower once you trying to figure out all the dice stuff. But
Yeah.
once you get it going,
It works out.
it works out. Okay.
And then the last card is 8 of spades. Who's your 8 of spades?
8 of spades is my Morgan or my Virgil. So clear your die.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got 3 dice left in my pool. I'm going to gamble and roll a d6 to get that many dice back. So I got all my shock dice back. And now I'm going to roll all of them. So pretty good roll. And your 2 guys in front of my guy are healthy?
Yeah.
Like
Full.
pretty much all your guys are healthy, right?
Yeah. Yep. Except for this guy. This guy's hurting a little bit.
A shootist is what Virgil is, and he cannot change any of his dice.
Right.
So, all right, we're going to aim, shoot, aim, shoot.
Who are you shooting at?
The first shot will be against him. Let's just do that first.
That is Billy, right?
Yeah.
I'll do the bonanza on that one. Interrupt.
Okay, Billy is a what?
He is a legend.
Oh, fuck. Legend is your current action dice -1. So roll your bonanza dice, which is just your action dice -1.
Okay, so 5 dice.
Where do you store all these games? How do you do it? I know, right? I've got one room, which is essentially full of miniatures games and books.
Like 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
All right, so I have.
Is this Dead Man's Hand? No, this is What a Cowboy.
So basically, I only have 1 shoot. Oh, I can change. I can change my. Right.
Earlier today, we played the man with no name, or the rules with no name, which is more like a RPG GM thing. Probably not as.
How many can a legend change?
A legend can change up to 2.
2. All right, so we're gonna change the 2 to shoots. All right, so I got 2 aims and 3 shoots. Which I will.
Jesus Christ.
So first one is I'm gonna aim, shoot.
Oh my God.
All right. So
All right.
looking for a.
Yeah, I don't know about this system. It's kind of dropping a little bit now with that.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Since you're in front of me, I need to dodge on a 5 or a 6. I did not get a dodge, so that would be a normal wound. And Gunfighter's Ball is a little cleaner and faster.
Yeah.
On that kind of resolution, because it's got detail, but I think it's got too many like programming.
Yeah.
And we're messing around with too many components and not focusing on the miniatures.
I agree.
Dang it. Okay. roll on the. Well, let me see if that's
A 6 is not a critical, is it?
A 6 is a wound. I lose 1 action dice, Virgil. 1 action dice permanently, and place 1 action in my shock pool.
Okay.
Okay, that was the first shot.
Yep.
Are you out of ammo by now?
I am I'm out of ammo, so I have to reload and then I'll shoot.
Reload 1 bullet and then shoot that 1 bullet.
Yeah.
And see, that's another awkward thing.
Yeah.
I like it when the game is like, I spent a whole turn to reload. I'm putting in all my fucking bullets.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to waste a whole future turn just loading your gun.
Yeah, you're going to waste all 6 of your dice if you could. You know?
The system dropped maybe down to 3rd or 4th.
All right, so this is the next shot. So 4, 5 will get you.
Up to a 5?
Yeah.
5 is shot. Hold on, I need a dodge. No dodge. So this one does get me, and it's place 1 action dice into my shock pool.
Other one.
Okay. Is that all?
That's all.
Yeah, because your guy's out of actions.
Yep.
However, I get to do what I was going to do, which it's curious.
No.
I think because you actually interrupted mine. I wonder if you know, if that takes away from your dice and you have to, if you run out of dice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it subtract from what I was about to do?
I would think so.
I would think so too. But I have enough dice where I can, move that shit, the movement and that. So, but no, I lost 1 permanently.
Right.
So I can only aim and shoot. I'm going to aim and shoot at your guy.
Sounds good.
So that's a +2 because I aimed and shot. That's a 6.
Mm-hmm.
So a 6 is a wound. You lose 1 action dice permanently, and you place 1 action dice.
Let me see
in
if
your
I can
character pool.
dodge.
See if you dodge out in the open.
Dodged. Give me behind them barrels right there.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the turn.
Yeah.
We can call this one.
Yeah, I'm good on this one. Let me quickly see what this one is. If this was super simple, then fine. If not, then I just want to read it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like this one, but
I
again,
liked
it's very involved.
But it's a lot of programs. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's
Yes.
a lot of things that are done faster and somewhat cleaner by other systems.
Yes.
I think Gunfighter's Ball is
So far
still
superior. Number 1 for
number
me.
1.
Anyway. Yeah.
And honestly, I think I would take Fistful of Lead over this one as well.
I do like this one, but it tends to slow down once with the dice mechanic. I like it just. I like the simplicity of Gunfighter's Ball.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just cleaner. It just flows a little bit better.
Right.
I think.
I don't like it when systems get bogged down too much.
It seems like this one bogs down a little bit, but to be fair,
tiny bit. It's right on the line.
Yeah, it's right on the line.
I like how the systems interact. It's like I like it, but there's not quite enough.
Yeah.
To put it over other systems.
Right. For me, I think this is number 2, actually. It's 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3. Faux show.
But the other ones don't leave enough of an impression for me to say one of those were 2. You know.
Yeah, but see, the other ones are designed for fast pace. You know, with more miniatures involved.
Yeah.
So it's all. I like that one where like we automatically move behind cover and stuff because that's what this is doing.
That was the Fistful of Lead, right?
That's Fistful of Lead.
Okay, I
that's
can see that.
my
yeah.
number 2.
I can
and then
probably
this could
put
be
that
number
at 2.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, we should get all of them and rate them after this.
We will. Okay, so last one here is movement. Let me check shooting. Okay, we got our character cards here already. Play sequence. Each player writes his character name on 3 slips of paper and puts them into a hat. Somebody pulls a slip out of the hat, and the character gets to take 1 action.
All right.
Huh.
I'm done with that. Really?
Fuck.
Come on.
3. Damn it.
Okay, so
I'll tell you what, since we're doing that, we might as well just roll on a dice.
that's
you know?
12. So that's 12 possible choices, right? So because each one
Yeah,
has 3 slips, right?
right. But
That's 24 choices in a bag. So we put 24 like order dice, 12 order dice and 12 order dice.
right.
And then we pull it out of the bag.
But the
to see
names
who-
also matter too.
Well, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'll I'll write. Hold on, let me see if it's worth it. Okay. Actions.
Yeah, look at actions and combat resolution.
All right, so Gunshot's all about fire and fury of combat. It's an exciting part of the movie where the lead is flying. In a game, action is what a character can reasonably accomplish in a moment. Like turns, actions do not have a precise duration. Like this one's real wordy, but like these people, then your action may only last 1 second. If you choose to move and fire, the action may last 6 or 7 seconds. As with turns, you're better off putting away your pocket watch and concentrating on that fella sneaking up behind you with a shotgun. I don't like it when, rules get all wordy like that. And it's like, just get to the point and tell me the rules. I'll make up all the rest of the stuff on my own. So when a character's slip gets pulled, you do 2 of any of the following. You move, attack, or perform a fast task. So just just write them on just rip them up. Where's the piece of paper? I'll give you 1 paper.
This is too much. All right, this one's already going down, dropping on the list of 12 that we've played. This will be number 12. Give me the scissors.
Yes, sir. So it looks pretty simple. Move, attack, perform fast attack. Or fast task. What is a fast task? That's any combined movement or attack. Okay. Or do one of the following. Full task. Or that's it. What's a full task? A full task is takes the entire character's action. That's like game-related actions, like interacting with objectives. Okay. They have some example characters already made. We'll just go with generic characters for our guys. It's a huge campaign system. So I guess the good thing about this is half of the book you can use for any game almost. You just adapt it to the system that you like, But these guys sure do like to over-explain. All right, free test. Hello. Metanate 3 months. Yes, sir, Matinee. Thank you so much for continuing to stick.
What the fuck?
I love that so much. Player moves a shooter into position. Player measures the distance. Player rolls 2 dice. If you rolled a 2 or a 12, you've rolled a snake eyes or a boxcars. You roll on a separate chart. That's cool. And then otherwise, modified die roll is equal to or greater than the shooter's TN, then the attack hits. If it's less, the attack misses. The target may now roll a retaliation shot if he has a loaded and ready weapon in his hand. Interesting. Okay, but there's a chart for snake eyes, and there's a chart for boxcars, and then the retaliation. Okay. Might be helpful to just read from the reference chart.
All right, here's mine.
Ready?
You gotta do yours.
What? Fuck. Just write mine so that I can finish reading this off so I know how to play the game.
Okay.
Doc 3 times. Well, you know.
Doc.
And then put them in there. Pull a name from my hat. 33. Bro, you do not need to. This one is also kind of like a RPG-ish.
RPG-ish. Yeah.
It has some of the RPG-ish stuff. Food, you can eat food. Kiss a pretty lady. Do kind of like how you have to draw your weapon first. If you draw and fire in the same action, you take a -1 penalty. All right. Ready?
right,
Draw and hold on. We need to figure out our target number. Before we draw
Okay.
from the hat, because then once you give everybody a target number, it'll go fast. Target number is page 96. Okay. Life's a crapshoot, and in gunshot, we ain't speaking metaphorically. Every combat action or special feat requires that you roll 2 dice to determine the outcome. Roll 12, and you're rolling in clover. A pair of 1s, and the snake hisses at you. All right, every character type has a target number. This target number ranges between 6 and 10, though there are a few characters with target numbers above or below this range. The character type you are playing as, C94, determines your... Okay, it's the character type, C94. Okay. Then let me go give us character types.
Okay.
I would guess we'll just do the same thing. 1 legend. We'll just make 1 legend and then everybody else the same thing. So character types, 91.
Yeah, this is very much
Like
RPG.
RPG kind of
Yeah,
thing.
because you can do your profession, residence, place of origin, date of birth, handliness, race, age, hair, height, religion, distinguishing marks and scars, personal disposition, our personality and disposition.
All right,
Background,
so I'll give you
Focus.
1 gunslinger, and then the next one down is a bounty hunter, and then the next one down is a sheriff/outlaw, and the next one down's a cowboy, and the next one down is a sodbuster, townsfolk, or thug, and the next one down is a greenhorn. So I think probably we should do gunslinger for 1.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make Doc Holliday a gunslinger.
Okay.
And who are you gonna put as your gunslinger?
No, we'll do Billy.
Gunslinger. So the target TN number for a gunslinger is 5. So write down 5.
Okay.
Okay, now let's make one of our guys a bounty hunter slash marshal slash villain. So who you doing that?
Ike.
Mine will be Virgil. So that target number is a 6.
Okay.
And I'll make him a marshal. And then the rest, the other 2 characters, will just make cowboys slash deputies. Or wait, sheriffs slash outlaws.
Okay.
So that target number is a 7. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to make Wyatt the marshal. And then 7s on Virgil and Morgan. Sheriff.
Okay.
Seven. Sheriff. Cool. Oh, there is things that come with that. So the bounty hunt, the gunslinger has specialities: fanning the gun and quick draw. Just put fanning and quick draw. So that means that Doc Holliday has, and I'm not gonna give him a shotgun this time since I'm gonna lose my fanning. Quick draw. Let's see. The marshal has pick one. Contemplative, reputation, or sure shot. Let's just say sure shot for everything. So the marshal has, or the next best guy has sure shot. And the 2 generic guys, they have pick one. Brawler, quick draw. So make one quick draw, make one brawler.
Okay.
Oh, and true grit. They all have true grit.
Okay.
And then so 1 brawler, 1 true grit, and 1 quick draw. I'm making Virgil the brawler.
Okay, Frank's my brawler.
All right, ready. Now we just need to pick from a hat and see who goes first.
If I go 3 times, don't get mad.
Mix it up good, damn it.
Billy.
God damn it, it's always you.
Oh, Billy's my good one too.
Fuck. Okay, so who
who's
do you
your
want
good
to
one?
target? My good one is Doc Holliday.
Okay, I'm
He's over
target
here.
Doc Holliday.
Okay, targeting Doc Holliday. Take 2 dice
Okay.
and roll 2 dice and 5.
All
Or
right.
first, hold on. You got to draw your gun.
Quick draw. All right, so I do quick draw.
And you'll do a -1 to this roll. Let me see how many actions you can take when you're doing your action.
3 actions per turn, right?
Where's that? I think it was 2 actions per turn.
It says on the character sheet. I don't know. It says 3 actions.
Where?
Under character type.
3 actions per turn. 4 if you choose spontaneous. Let me see why it's 3 actions. Time for action. Do one of the following while working on a full-time test. Note the number indicates the number of actions it takes to complete this test. Do 2. It says 2 here. Do any 2 of the following in any order. Move, attack, perform a fast attack, or perform a fast task. Remember, you could do a free task at any time. It doesn't count as anything.
Okay.
Tasks are other things when they're not moving or attacking. So first you need to do the task to draw your weapon. That's a fast task. Oh, so maybe that kind of is the third action. So you're performing a fast task to draw a one-handed weapon. So you draw a pistol. Who is it?
Quick.
Billy draws a pistol.
What's quick draw then? I'm sorry.
Okay.
We need to.
Maybe that's a free action.
Yeah.
Quick draw. Quick draw, page 88. Quick draw. One weapon. You've spent hours practicing with a particular type of weapon until you can draw and fire it in the same action without a wild shot penalty. So like with that. So you don't get a penalty.
Okay.
It also grants the following benefits. Add a +2 to all action checks and action rolls in a showdown. So that's probably this game's version of a fast attack. That's it. So just remember +2 in a showdown and no penalty when you pull your gun.
Okay.
But you're only going to need to pull your gun once.
I
So
hope so.
you pull your gun and you fire.
Yeah.
No penalty. Roll 2 dice and you're firing at Doc Holliday. So you need a target number is a 5. Why is the number lower? So is it harder to hit?
I need 5 or better to. No, 5 or better to hit you.
Yeah, but if Doc Holliday's target number is 5 and our generics are 7s, wouldn't that mean that our legend is harder to hit than generics? That doesn't make sense.
No. 5 or better on 2 dice to hit you. 7 or better on the generics to hit you.
5 or better is easier to get on 2 dice.
That's why he's the legend or the gunslinger.
You're not listening. So how is it easier to hit a legend than it is a generic guy? It's probably rolling under.
No, I'm rolling that number, shooting you to hit you. I'm not. You're not.
I know. But you want... Okay, follow me on this way. Shouldn't it be harder to hit a legend than a generic
It's
guy?
not a number to hit. It's me. It's not me. It's not like a wound. It's like I'm trying to hit you on a certain target number.
Why are we speculating? Why don't we just read it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, time for action. You're going to take a shot at me.
My guy at this level hits you on this. It's not anything
Just
to do
roll
with you.
But just roll the 2 dice so that I could prove to you that it's going to be easier for you to hit a legend than it is.
It's not me trying to hit a legend. It's any target. It's me as the legend trying to hit any target.
Oh, you. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
for explaining that. Now I understand.
Okay.
So, yeah. So let's do target numbers. Okay. So every character has a target number between 6 and 10. Blah blah blah. Combat is very simple. When you want to shoot somebody, roll 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll your target number or higher, you succeed.
Right.
So it's easier for a legend at 5 to roll a 5 than it is a
Right.
7. Okay.
Right. All
So
right.
take a shot.
Okay.
So you roll, you hit higher, you hit your target number. If you roll less, then you fail. Once you determine that you've hit your target, the target character may attempt a retaliation shot at you. Again, 2 dice are rolled, and modifiers for range, movement, and cover are added or subtracted from the total. If the final number is equal to or greater than the character's target number, the retaliation shot hits its mark. If the final number is equal to or greater than that character's target number, the retaliation hits its mark. Well, let me see if I retaliate. Oh, fuck. I don't retaliate.
Wow.
Okay. So you hit me and I didn't hit you. Which actually I think I probably have to draw my pistol first before I can even do a retaliation shot.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I didn't do it. Players who succeeded in scoring damage now roll the appropriate dice, and that damage is recorded on the victim's character sheet. However, if the shooter misses, nothing happens to the target. In either case, the shooter must mark the spent off ammo on his character sheet. So, modified dice roll. The target may roll a retaliation if he has a loaded, ready weapon in his hand. So I wouldn't have been able to even fire yet.
Okay.
Damage is now applied to any character that has been hit. Okay, how do I apply damage? And did you roll? No,
No.
you didn't roll box size or snake oil. Yeah.
No.
Pistols.
It looks like 1d6 plus 1.
Okay, weapon ranges and damage modifiers. So you're doing a pistol not at point blank, not at close range, at medium range, damage plus 1.
No, it's either way.
Medium
it's
plus 1. So
fine. I would say close range. That's 3 inches. Or no? Either way.
So D6
Still
plus 1.
All right, here we go.
But I don't know where to find the actual damage.
So 3 points of damage.
So you rolled a 2?
Yep.
Plus 1, 3
Yep.
points of damage. And then where do I...
I don't know.
Doc Holiday. Wounds. Apply modifiers to attack rolls and action check. Well, let me figure out how to apply wounds.
Unless you just start from the light going down to the moderate, right? I don't know. Damage is caused by a gun, knives, other deadly things. When all 15 slots are full, you are dead. So yeah, you start from the top and then work down. So you just go through those 3.
So there's pain and then there's damage.
Pain is when you're fighting hand to hand.
Okay, so damage. Light, no negative effects. So
Yeah.
you give me 2.
3.
3.
Yeah, so 3 boxes. And then when you color in all 15 boxes, you're dead.
Gotcha. So I'm moderately damaged, -1 to hit.
Yeah.
Severely damaged, -2 to hit.
All right, so my second attack then, right? I get 2 attacks, right? Is that 3 action or 2 actions?
Yeah, it's weird that the thing says 3, but then there's really only 2 actions. So do 2 of the following in any order: move, attack, perform a fast task. The fast task was you drawing your weapon, so you can only do 1 attack, and then you can do a move. Do 2 of the following. So 2 attacks.
Yeah. All right, that's 11. Too bad that don't mean anything other than it's an 11.
So another shot.
Yeah. So and then I guess I just do damage.
So
I hit
I don't
and I
like-
damage. I hit and I damage. There's nothing. There's nothing
No,
else.
I don't
to it.
like that. I mean, I would stop right
6
there.
points of damage. That hurts.
6 points of damage
Yeah.
on Doc Holiday?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm half health.
Yeah.
And now I'm -1 to hit, and my movement is reduced by 33%.
Oh.
See, I don't know
Why do they
about all
put fractions
this.
in there?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
like
done.
the yeah.
Once they put fractions in there, I'm done.
Yeah.
now I
No,
gotta
some
do
of
math.
these other games do have fractions,
But,
but
I gotta do math to
it's-
see how much.
so they're super right. It's super simple.
Yeah.
And all the depth is really just in the campaign system and GM stuff. So
and there's no
that's it.
there's no
Good shot. Nah.
feedback between the two, so you can't dodge. You just either hit and you take damage, and that's it.
Hit or take damage. And that's it.
And what if I got like another Billy or another? I went a couple times. I could just concentrate on that one guy, and he's dead.
Yeah. See, now I got your brain working, Jay, on breaking games. Okay, before we end the stream, let me go downstairs and get the book for the last one, just so that I have all the books so
Yeah.
we can rank them in one go.
All right, 2 seconds, guys. Well, we do our final review of 3 weeks of playing Western games. Again, in totality, they all have a little bit of something in them, I guess, for your certain flavor. But really, the cream did rise to the top, and that was Gunfighter's Ball. Gunfighter's Ball, the best one out of all the systems we played, hands down. I could see reasons for playing some of the other ones, because they're, especially the other 2 that we played today, are more narrative, so I can see that. But if you wanted just a good miniatures Western game, I think just Gunfighter Ball so far out of all of them. And there's a couple in there that's like, no, not even.
Okay. We are done. Let me get a nice... All right. Let me get all the books in order.
All right, Razlance. So, yeah, you could
What?
have an RPG and a miniatures game, you know, coexist together, but it's very hard to do, and it has to be done well, or else you're gonna favor one side of the mechanics for the and sacrifice the other side. Meaning you're gonna focus. I think there's a balance there that you have to get where you focus not just on the RPG side, but on the miniature playing side of it too. And that's where I think a lot of games do it well with campaign systems. So you still get that RPG feel, and not really like a D&D type thing. I don't know.
This guy. Okay. All right, I got them all ordered.
Okay.
We'll see if Jay agrees with the order or if he puts one out on different order. Okay.
Lowest to...
Whoa! Guys, this is 3 weeks of Wild West games. I've probably done research on over 30 systems. And we got to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Whoa.
7, 8, 9. There's
Yeah,
a few
9.
other ones
9.
that I read through. 9, Dracula's America 10, Wild West Exodus 11, and then there's one more 12. But yeah, so we went through quite a lot here, and I've got them ranked in order. So I guess dead last for me would be Gut Shot, the one that we just played. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Gut
Not
Shot is probably last for me. And then the Rules with No Name.
That's probably less for me. I don't know.
This one, Rules with No Name, is last for you?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it was more vague than Gut Shot, you know? At least at Gut Shot, we kind of had a clear path. And
I mean, to be fair, a lot of your experience is having to go off of what I've interpreted from the rules.
Yeah, well.
And upon repeated plays, it might go up or down depending on, because we did find, things as we were going along. I like what they were going for here, but just ultimately, it's just done by other systems better.
Yeah.
This is free. This is a free rule set, and it's just I got the hardback copy.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then the Rules with No Name at number 8. Gut Shot at number 9. Number 7 is Blackwater Gulch.
Blackwater Gulch.
This is the one that you pretty much need to play in a group of minis, and it was
Just
basically you roll a 4+ to hit.
Yeah.
And
like one hero can take out like a whole
one hero
group of guys
can take out every,
because he goes
character
6 times.
has a character card.
Yeah.
And your actions, one character can have 6 actions while your peons have one action each.
Yeah.
And what we found is that one guy dominates a side of the board,
Right.
which is fine if you have to build your units around that.
Yeah.
But it just kind of sucks throwing 4 peons at one good guy and it doing nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for our purposes, a Wild West shootout out in the open, this just doesn't work at all.
Not at
because
all.
one guy can just shoot all the rest of the legends while they can't do anything about it.
Right.
So for our purposes, that was no bueno. And then Dead Man's Hand. This one is good. This one's where we start to get into good games.
Yeah.
Where I would be willing to try again all of these up. But I think because this one runs on a single dice of a D20, I just don't like rolling D20s.
Well,
I want to
and
feel
the
like I'm
cards-
actually
The cards get mixed in there too.
the
So-
cards. Can you tell me about the cards? The initiative cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was initiative cards. But a lot of the games.
At the
have
start of every turn, draw the top card of the deck after all cards have been determined. Yeah. Initially, we thought that there was no reaction, so everybody just stands in place. But no, there are reactions. There are specific cards like jokers and gang-specific cards that allow you to do stuff like, play on opposing model within 20 centimeters after it declares actions. It receives an under fire marker before it takes actions. So you can play cards on each other.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I kind of like that element in tabletop games. This one kind of has that.
Kind of like a stratagem type thing.
Yeah. But I think it was the whole, just rolling a single D20 that I didn't, really gel with too much. The interruptions, the duck back. So there is duck back and quick shots in it. But that's Dead Man's Hand. This one's popular. And then next up is What a Cowboy. I liked What a Cowboy.
I did like What a Cowboy.
Because they've thought of all of the mechanics that are in cinematic, shows. The fast draws, the pressing your luck, the gambling,
Right.
the very quick wounds. It's all there. However, it's a little unwieldy because if you're running 4 characters, you've got 6 action dice on every single character card. Imagine if you're running 6 characters or 8 characters. It really starts to fall apart
it
at
bogs
higher
down.
numbers.
Yeah, it
the
bogs
most you
down.
really want to be running is
Like
maybe
2 or
4
3.
characters.
2 or 3.
I always like running 4 characters
4 it
minimum.
would be max.
Yeah.
For this game anyway.
Yeah. So, but when you're doing that, it runs fine. It works. It simulates pretty much everything. It can be a little brutal when multiple cards are drawn at once. Jay drew basically 3 of his guys in a row before my guys had to do anything.
Right.
And if we're out in the open, again, we're playing a specific way. We're playing the OK Corral where we're firing at each other out in the open.
Right.
This works a little better when, you're moving through
around.
cover
Going
and you
through
have to
buildings
spot.
and terrain and
I like
stuff.
the idea
Yeah,
that you
gotta
have to spot and stuff. We didn't even have to do that once because we were so close to each other. We would run up to each other so that we didn't have to spot you and start shooting. But What a Cowboy is good. Then I like Blaster from the magazine. It's Dead by Lead. It's very quick. It's very clean. It's very simple, and I liked it. I'm trying to remember because everybody had their own traits.
Yeah, there.
And then you had, shoot the cover. This had an interesting system where you do the aim deck.
Yeah.
Do you remember the aim deck?
Yeah.
Basically, the aim deck is used to determine the difficulty of the shot. So when you're drawing cards, if you draw a face card, like aces, queens, kings, you have to hit a 10. And if the guy's behind cover, you draw 1 card. You draw 2 cards because he's behind cover.
Yeah, your opponent.
And then you have to do the highest card.
Right.
And you're rolling. What were we rolling? D10s or D12s?
It was D10s.
You have to hit a 10 on a D10.
Wasn't it?
It was D12s.
D12s. Okay.
Yeah, D12s. So it's a unique system. It's nice, quick, simple. It's faster than What a Cowboy and allows you to use more miniatures than What a Cowboy. However, if you're looking for smaller count, I like What a Cowboy better than this one because there's more detail there. But if you want to go more models, 4 and above, then Dead by Lead. Finally, the top 3 cowboy systems out there. Warhammer.
Yeah, it's
tried and
and
true.
Yeah.
Legends of the West. It's Warhammer.
Easy.
This is Legends of the Old West. My Mark Latham. It just pretty much piggybacks off the back of Andy Chambers and all the other designers at Rick Presley. Sorry, based on an original design by Rick Presley, and it's just a target number. You roll the target number, and you got a number of wounds. It's quick. It's fast. And then each character has a few skills that add a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
But this, you get it done really fast, and it's out of print. Warhammer doesn't really support this anymore.
Not at all.
But it was fun at the time. Fistful of Lead Reloaded is an indie one.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows about this one. You have to go and buy it online, and I really, really like it. This is basically the best of the fast systems, and that's because it's using D10s. I don't always like D10s, but if I'm forced to use D10s, I like it. It's very simple, the actions that you're doing, and then what's happening is when you get shot and wounded, your guys are automatically moving and automatically taking cover, and that feels like real.
Yeah.
The guys are reacting. They're not just sitting out in the open doing jack shit. So I liked it. Very clean, and they give you the tokens that you need. And then there's a card system here for it.
Yeah.
Which I'd have to look up. Let me look that up real quick, because I forget about the cards. Do you remember Fistful of Lead, or it's been a while?
That was one of the first ones we played, too.
Yeah.
No.
So when it's your actions, you get 2 actions: move, shoot, reload.
Yeah, okay.
And it's very simple that way. The activation is you shuffle. Fistful of Lead is each player is dealt 1 card for every model.
Mm-hmm.
Players are allowed to look at their own cards.
Oh, that's right. And then whoever has the higher card goes, right? Was that what it is?
Yeah. The higher card goes. That was the one that I didn't like. I didn't like, having to do that.
Yeah.
If you can change that activation sequence, then everything else in the game was kind of awesome. But yeah, so this was number 2 for me, Fistful of Lead, but just because it's so quick and so easy, and it goes there. And then the best Wild West.
This is really the only
gunfights. This is the only one you should use.
Yeah, this is where we agree 1,000%. This is the best one.
Yeah,
it's
and
it's the cleanest. It has your flavor in there.
There's one huge weakness to this one. So Gunfighter's Ball is our number 1. The huge weakness is there's a lot of components. Like What a Cowboy, you have to have like poker chips. Mm-hmm. And there's like 6 or 9 poker chips for each character, and then a character card for Gunfighter's Ball.
Gunfighter's Ball, yes.
And it's low model count.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't run this. I mean, you can, but it would be better if every player at the table was running 1 or 2 guys.
1 or 2 guys, yeah.
Right? But so it's not skirmish. But the amount of detail in this, when you shoot somebody and you where you hit them, and then them falling down, and then them,
crawling, having to crawl. Yeah.
It feels like an RPG without having to do all of the RPG
stuff. Yeah.
Stuff.
Right.
And it keeps it fast. And I think what does it's actually the most unique system of them all. It's a D100.
Right.
It's a D100 system where you roll the first number and the second number, and so you get like a 49%. 49% means he hits you in the gut or something like that. And so we really like it. And yeah, it helps that there's a GM, but it's very detailed, but with the speed and simplicity of the others.
Right.
So anytime we play, I think, on Wild West, it's going to be Gunfighter's Ball.
And I think it's the most deadly out of them all.
Right, meaning you can get games done relatively quickly. Yeah. So I like that quite a bit. So top 3, again, any one of these games is good. Gunfighter's Ball, The Old West, Fistful of Lead, and these 3. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 weeks of Wild West games. We've got plenty of Wild West minis and terrain. Yeah. I bought a few more miniatures because Gunfighter's Ball by Forrest, he sculpts some. Probably not only is it the best miniature system, but it's also kind of the best
miniature range.
Miniature range. You've got the saloon girls. You've got bystanders.
Furniture. He's got
furniture. They even have the Tres Amigos.
Yep.
Martin Short.
Yep.
Chevy Chase.
He's got Blazing Saddles. He's got all the Blazing Saddles characters.
Yeah. And so the parody characters and all that stuff. So we'll definitely be circling back in the future to Wild West games and then just playing one. 1 or 2 over and over. But we've been wanting to do this for years.
Yeah,
You
couple
know,
years,
because I've got 30 game systems, but now we know, hey, this is where we want to spend our time on. So thank you all guys so much for hanging out with us and going over this with us for over the past 4 weeks if you count Jay going to, what is it, the game trade show?
Yeah, Gamma.
So he was
Gamma
out
last
a
week. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Monday, the boys are coming over. We're going to do the news, film the news, a lot of big news stories. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll probably be editing while the boys will be streaming. I'll be editing the Resident Evil 9 review and the Marathon review. And then what is coming out that week? I think Toxic Commando, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando maybe comes out next week. And the last episode of Starfleet Academy, which sucks. Thank God it's over. And let me check to see, is there any movies coming out?
The Bluff. What's The Bluff?
The Bluff is that pirate movie on Amazon.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I will check that out.
Yeah, it looks like there's no movies. There's Undertone, which is a horror about sound. I'm waiting for Project Hail Mary. When is that? That is
that's
Project
right.
Hail
It's
Mary.
soon. It's soon.
That's the Thursday the 19th. So that's that's the third week. Okay.
See you later, Res Jua. Thanks for joining us.
Oh shit! All those tickets are sold out. I better buy
Marathon. What's your favorite gun in Marathon?
these tickets. Marathon favorite gun in Marathon is going to be the BR-33 volley rifle. That's S tier, and it's my favorite. I also like the twin tap HBR, HB something. It's also very good. And then I'll take the Burt SMG up close. I can't hit with the shotgun, even though you just got to get right in somebody's face and you can one or two tap, probably two tap somebody with the shotgun. But it's just hard for me to hit my shots because I'm a terrible aimer. But all right, guys, thank you all for hanging out with us. I might be streaming some Marathon later on tonight in an hour or two after I eat. So thank you all for hanging out with us. So I might see you in just a short bit, chat. Bye, guys.
Later.